apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning to the Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man, Kill. Packed house. And back tonight, Little Sis Portia isn't here today, so we are always going with ladies first. First up to the bat is my homegirl, Adina from Another Lane. What's going on, miss?
Hanging in there. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for having me. Making a girl blush over here. Wait, so do we get into bars now? Because, I stay ready. What's happening?
What you say, you gotta stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready. I feel you. Hold on, let me introduce your husband. Let me introduce, you know what I mean? My man Chad Sneaker Galactus. What's going on, good brother?
I'm good, man. Yo, thanks for having me on.
Definitely.
I'm old, and y'all got me up.
I appreciate you staying up with us, good brother. I appreciate it. Like I was telling Dean, I'm a night owl. I may not on a good night, I may go to bed at 3 a.m. Like that's a good night for me. You know what I mean? So, because it's the only time I can get stuff done around here. So, that is what it is. Rel, what's going on, good brother? Dope Nas shirt, man.
Appreciate you, man. Glad to be here again. Always a pleasure.
All right, I'm gonna definitely connect y'all too with your sneakers and they sneakers. We about to have a whole good sneaker marriage going on up in here. JR, the R&B Guru, what's going on, brother?
What's going on? Good to be here. Ready to do this.
It's good. Eddie, what's good, brother?
Yo, man, I'm good, man. Just ready for another dope show. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Dope MF Doom shirt. R.I.P. to the legend. You know what I mean? Last time we scooped that when I was in L.A. with you, so definitely a dope time. Almost a year ago. I think next week it'll be almost a year ago, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
Burn out the ATL. My bad. What was you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, if you search this shirt online now, they're all sold out.
I bet. I mean, anything MF Doom is sold out now. So or it's just going for like $1 million. So it's either sold out or either or. Burn out the ATL. What's good, bro?
Box. I'm ready to spit. Let's go.
Right, okay, Box. I feel you, good brother. I feel you. Let's get ready to rock.
Bro.
Yo,
I like
before
that.
we jump into it, we gonna sit here. My people's got the dope, ill sneaker website, everything, sneaker community. So Adina, Chad, why don't y'all tell us a little bit about what Another Lane is, what's going on with it, how you get down with it. I just love seeing sneaker boxes. It's like, I used to work at Foot Locker when I was in high school back in like '89. So this y'all crib is like the stock room. So tell us about Another Lane.
Yeah, I'm in aisle 1 of the stock room right now. So Another Lane is the premier destination for dope kicks. So we're here to give y'all what you need when you need it as collectors. So we provide a whole host of unique services: photography, pricing, research, restoration, but most importantly, community. So we want you to come talk your shit. We want you to come show your shoes. We want you to learn about other shoes. I was just telling, before I got on the call, like we got a dope pair of M&M 4s. And, Chad can talk more about the kicks that are actually on the platform. But we really want people to come talk their shit, show their shoes. Great thing about our platform is that we can list rare, exclusive like PEs, unlike other platforms where there is no market to be listing them there because they're not even identifiable. So we can do that here at Another Lane. Chad, you want to get into more of your background and just why we made Another Lane?
Yeah, I mean, 30 years, man. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't even know how to go. It's late, but it's hard to go into all the shit that I did over the years for the sneaker stuff. I was part of the first ever podcast actually about sneakers called Obsessive Sneaker back in the day. Fast forward to co-curating the first sneaker exhibit in North America at the Bada Shoe Museum with Elizabeth Semmelhack and creating another lane just gave me an avenue to explore my passion, show it, share it. And the one thing that Adina left out is it's a marketplace, y'all. So if you got joints, like flip them shits, make your bread. Like, look at the way things are going. They're going crazy right now. Pandemic got stock markets moving in directions that we don't normally see. Things being worth more than we ever noticed before. This is the time, man. Make your move, because you just never know. And this is a marketplace, a place for you to liquidate that stuff. Like shoes are moving for bread. Yeah. So, people like me, I've been able to do some things I ain't never had a thought about before because of these sneakers. Yeah. So.
And Chad's absolutely right. It is a marketplace. It's a full-blown marketplace right now. We don't take any seller fees off your transactions. So get your bread. What you sell is what you sell. And they go through us for verification and making sure you get your money. So super safe. We understand the game. We know what's real. And so that's why we're here. We're in this whole other lane. We made a lane for ourselves because we couldn't find one for ourselves.
That's dope. Mm-hmm. So you take used sneakers.
Correct. Yeah, new and used with or without the box. And all you have to do is go to anotherlane.com, sign up. If you want to sell, it'll make you fill out an application. Just reference that you heard about us on the Apartment 5B podcast in your application, and we'll make sure to get back to you and get you set up with a store. You can also just go buy if you want without filling out any type of application.
Well, let me prep before she even just says it. It ain't that simple. So whether you sign up or not, you want to be vetted. We want to know who the hell you are.
Yes.
Like you ain't just gonna sign up and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do whatever, because it ain't like that.
Yeah, I was trying to make the people feel inviting. Then when they get in there, we're gonna be like, nigga, who are you? Who you know? Where your mama at? No,
yeah, this is a hip hop show also. So there's a party. There's a lot of people invited, but if you don't act right, you get kicked out right too. So
that's what it is. We already know me. We're gonna be chopping up about Another Lane all night. If people know me, I'm a sneaker addict. I think I probably brought over 30 pairs just in the past pandemic, so I have a problem, y'all. I mean, it's an issue right now. I think that's now my love language. I need the postman to deliver something to me to still feel good. You know what I mean? So it's just we're all getting through how we can. Before we jump into it, the Apartment 5B podcast is sponsored by What's the Scenario Game. Very dope game, card game, legit dope. People are buying it. All you gotta do is go to SoWhatGames.com, put in the promo code Apartment 5B, you get free shipping. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna chop this up. Eddie just got his, JR got his. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna be able to play online and to kind of show everybody what it is. But one of my homeboys on Twitter said he got it for his classroom, and
that's what's up.
His kids went into it and just loved it. You can battle as MCs in the game, so very dope game. Again, SoWhatGames.com. Use the promo code Apartment 5B. You get free shipping. But let's get into the show. Here's the thing, y'all. I was thinking the other day, what's the first thing that comes to mind? The craziest way I come up with these topics is I was watching Beverly Hills Cop. Me and Naomi was watching Beverly Hills Cop. And when, I want to say 2, and when Eddie is like Johnny Wishbone, the first thing that just popped in his head was Johnny Wishbone. And that got me thinking, what is the first thing that pops into your mind when you hear your favorite MC? So if your favorite MC is Nas, what is the first verse that pops in your mind? If your favorite MC is Rakim, what is the first verse that just pops to your mind when you think about them? And why? You know me, I'm always interested now at 46. I'm interested in why, because everybody may name Nas and everybody may name 6-7 different verses from Nas, and what is it about that verse that speaks to you so much? Ladies first, Adina, who was the first MC you got?
All right, I love this format.
What is the verse?
Round table. I mean, I'm like, if Yao, if we on our last call, we spoke to Yao and he understood. He was like, she's the biggest J head I know. But I picked Jay-Z PSA. And it really just came to me because it really is just my fuck you to the world. I remember actually too, so I went to school in California. And so all my line sisters, I'm in Delta Sigma Theta, shout out to the Soul Roars. And my line sister, born and bred Cali, I am the epitome of New York to her, and I let her hear this song. And so every time she sees me, she recites this part of it. And I'm like, so we rapping. Okay, so, No matter where you go, you are who you are, player, and you can try to change, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here. Only God can judge me, so I'm gone. Either love me or leave me alone. Like, she'll see me from across Penn Station and be like, either love me or leave me alone.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Jay, where's he on your GOAT list? Is he the best ever?
Yes.
Best ever, hands down.
I mean, it also has a lot to do when I was born, where I went to high school, what age I am, but yes, that's
all right, no doubt. Chad, who you got for yours, good brother?
Your format had me all thrown off, but if we're going like, you had a Nas shirt on, so I'm gonna just go with that. And so one of my favorite lyrics is, "I peeped you frontin'. I was in the Jeep seat. I was in the Jeep heat seat in the. I like, shit, I just messed up the lyrics.
It's all
you ain't got to rap it.
You talking about the message. You talking about the message.
When he beats bumping.
Talk about how you bring an island.
Like me, like that's a real common lyric that comes up to me regularly, especially on this internet. There's a whole lot of people who talk it but don't live it. So
preach, bro.
Yeah.
Now tell me this, Chad, where's Nas? Because I know everybody doesn't have a GOAT list. I'm like the list of aficionados. So what is Nas on your GOAT list? Do you have a GOAT list? Like, where does he rank for you?
I mean, as far as a lyricist, yeah, Nas is definitely on my GOAT list. The thing about Nas is he's a Jones boy. I'm a Jones boy. He's a Virgo, so am I. Like, there's a lot of things right here. Like, he's a New York cat, so am I. So it's really kind of a situation where there's a lot of parallel for me, and there's a lot of things that I can relate to, and it allowed me to, I'm gonna say, for being a creature of habit and a place where I didn't get to see outside where I come from, Nas allowed me to escape and see that there were some different things than what I'm used to seeing.
All right, dope. Vern, out of ATL, what MC you got? What's the first bar that comes to mind?
I don't recall ever graduating at all. I'm just disappointed to y'all. Every day I just lay around and I can't be found. Always asking, give me some, living life like a bum. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
CeeLo, Get Up, Get Out, Outkast first album. I mean, the lyrics tell you why. I mean, I'm in sales. I gotta get up, get out every day, bro. No matter, I'm 48. I still gotta grind like I just started in this business. I'm 24 years in it. So yeah, Get Up, Get Out, obvious choice.
Nice.
Tell me this, brother. Is that a top 5 Cash song for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, but you already know that album that's my favorite Outkast album for reasons I've explained many a time.
Right.
So yeah, definitely.
All right, no doubt. Eddie, what you got?
Yeah, let me mute. So I got Pharoah Monch. This one was on his album and another artist's album, and once I say it, you'll understand what I mean. Yes, how many gorillas who are actually killers really rhyming, artists that actually sign still killing, and when it comes to killing the mic, they're not willing, not supposed to be shook. That's the shit that killed me. Love that. I feel like that bar, that whole verse is like timeless because it just stays relevant. You know what I mean? Like even now, it's like who's real, who's fake, who's fronting. You know what I mean? If you're an MC, it should be about the bars. You know what I mean? So
right.
Especially Pharoah's about the bars. He said I think another song on the same album, Still Standing, he was talking about like all the things that he's never done, right? So he never claimed to be none of that. But if you do, then let it be your truth. So
right. All right, no doubt. Can't go wrong with Pharoah. JR, who you got, man?
Brooklyn head, so I'm going with Big. I think y'all probably already know what my rhyme gonna be, but it's on the second verse of Unbelievable. when he said, he sounds demented. Carl, we said it. If I said it, I meant it. Bite my tongue for no one. Call me evil or unbelievable. That's my story, and that's what it is. I'm not biting my tongue for nobody. So if I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say it. So that is my favorite big round. I mean, for big, that's the lines I go to.
That's what it is. Rel, I'm sure you're gonna set us off with some Nas. So
I'm a skip Nas for a second. I'm gonna come back to Nas. Nas is my favorite, my GOAT though.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Prodigy, and I'm gonna go Apostles' Warning. His verse on Apostles' Warning. I don't know, something about that verse just stand out to me. He went in his bag. I spit a little bit of it. Yo, my empire strikes with the strength of poisonous snakes. My entire unit loaded up with snake niggas in high stakes. We pull off in high stakes. Great escapes, expand, shift team downstate. Dreams are growing old. My son will live great. Little man, I'm planning to enhance your mind state. The rebirth of a nigga who lived the ill life. The one before me was a one even more trife. My understanding, I raise you with precise planning and put you onto the whole game of his planet. But I gotta survive in order to follow through plans to live lotto. Me and my little Kiko. Any man trying to step up, they get wet though. So that's a little part of it. But the verse is like 60 bucks. Like he went in and he went into another zone, man. I don't know what he was going through in his verse.
During that time may have literally been the dopest MC walking the planet Earth. And like that's 96, right?
Yeah, like he was like General Monk orders to chop necks. I sent a message to the whole clique, the bomb shit. Atomic, no time for calm shit. We hyperactive and we time the Vietnam shit. Your whole alliance gets single-handedly bombed and take heed to the Apostles' Warning. Yeah, man, he was during that time. P was on another level, and that verse sticks out to me. So I go with P for Apostles' Warning.
No doubt. I'm piggybacking off of JR with Big's Unbelievable, but I got the first verse. Just the way y'all know me, like starting off, the way people set off hip hop songs is like a lost art to me. So like the whole live from Bedford, Style, the Sun, the live is one, represent BK to the fullest gats. I'm pulling bastards ducking when Big be bucking, chicken heads in my bathroom fucking. It ain't nothing, you know, Big. And it was like the layers he was going in. You know what I mean? Because it was like it was a totally new like live from Bedford, Style, the Sun, the live is one. Like it was just like these pockets he kept going with, like. He was playing with it. And like, I remember I was coming home from Morgan. I was getting off Lincoln Drive. Cosmic Kev was playing it in Philly. And it was just like, yo, this is like crazy. Like just hearing the beat at first, I was like, yo, this beat is crazy. And then when Big came in and just his whole rhyme style, you know what I mean? Which is crazy for me. So Big's Unbelievable. Whenever I think of Big, who is my GOAT MC, the first thing that comes to mind all the time is definitely that joint. Adina, who's another MC for you, miss?
You're moving hot and heavy. Other MC, you know, I actually have two ladies on my list. I hope some of y'all got some too.
I actually have a lady on my list. See that? We don't play that up here.
I'm already
on everybody already.
So it's Kim's verse after, you know, the end at All About the Benjamins when she you know, basically shits on everyone, closes it out. It's like, I was the hottest on this track. So, you know, all that bullshit you kick, play your hating from the sideline, get your own shit. While you riding mine, I'm a good fella kind of lady. Slash 380s in Mercedes. Hope you hold me down, baby. Only female in my crew. And I can shit like the nigga do. Pull the trigger too. Fuck you. So the crazy thing is, like, Chad will tell you how I grew up. Like, everything is the censored version, even rap. So, like, for the longest, I just thought it was like only female in my crew.
Like it just ended right there. Like that's it. It ended.
I was like, hey, and then you know, went to a wedding or a barbecue or two. I was like, oh, but yeah, always loved Kim, Brooklyn born. Me and Chad, Jay, Kim. It is what it is, you know.
All right, that's dope. So y'all from Brooklyn, Eddie's from Brooklyn, JR's from Brooklyn. So it's a whole Brooklyn reunion up in here.
How you change?
Yeah, how'd you change? Andy up. Brooklyn keep on taking it. Chad, what you got for another one of yours, bro?
I'm gonna go with AZ. Really, that's like, I don't know. That's my man right there. So I'm not gonna even try to recite it, but I just looked them up. So here we go. Far from feeble, I leave your nostrils hard to breathe through, cause my cerebrals are more from a higher plane than the Hebrews. Like devotion brings out my deepest emotions, overdose of wannabes potions, send them through convulsions. Too hard to swallow. You took a bite you couldn't swallow, your mind's boggled. But I'm as deep as Donald Goines novels. My whole persona's kind of laid back like a recliner. Since a minor, I've been fucking with marijuana. Wavy hair, my skin got her money getting glare. Strictly menace square, macking off a Guinness beer. So where it all begins is here.
Yo.
How could I be weak? I'm rather unique.
Oh my God, man. That's a slept on Pete Rock track. Like, people never talk about Rather Unique, and then scratching that Big Daddy Kane Rather Unique. Oh my God, man.
That actually, Chad put me on to that. I don't know, we were driving through Brooklyn, put me on it. It's actually the demo that we made for our app, just to like show what it looks like for Another Lane. The background song is Rather Unique, and it just speaks to like the shit we got, who we are. Love that song for the chat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, if you come from where we come from, the only way you was ever gonna be anything is by being unique. If you like somebody else, don't nobody want to know who you are. So,
right. It's funny because you talk about that era and it gets back, and trust me, I'm not opening the floodgates to hell again, y'all, on the whole biting versus influence thing. But yeah, that just opened up the floodgates of hell, and we keep opening them. But what you just said, that we come from an era where it was about being unique. You know what I'm saying? Where you didn't want to be like anybody else. You know what I mean? And I know, I don't even want to go on AZ. I know the first time I heard Life's a Bitch and he spit, it was just like, yo, what the hell was that? Like, I don't even know what that was.
The two of them just going in and out, like, yeah, I like that. I like that combo.
Was crazy. That's one of the albums hip hop owes me. AZ Nas album from like 96, 97. That right there would have been stupid. Bro, what you got up next, good brother?
All right, Adina, you're gonna like this. This is a song by The Equalizer.
Okay. Thanks. Is that what we call her now? Because she was tired.
I don't call it Equalizer, but
no. All right.
But going through it.
My mellow Latifah was kicking flavors. The Ari Posse said, yo, Latifah, we can do this. So I dig into my thought from a brilliant eyes call because I agree because I already knew this. Now you should want effect because I'm in full effect. When Latifah is 5-0 on this set, you've been begging to die for somebody rhyming to set you free. For God so loved the world he gave you me. That's how you kill. You talk about sparking out the song. I mean, she came in with my mellow, and that's my first introduction to Latifah.
One of the dopest albums ever.
Yes, sir.
One of the dopest.
Yeah, you need to get to know her. Yeah, so Latifah.
And you people, I said one of the dopest albums. Not one of the dopest female albums. No, one of the dopest albums. Period. Y'all, for the young folk watching this, if you've never heard this album, just turn this off. Fuck our show. We will listen to this right now. Like, stop what you're doing, like Humpty said, because I'm about to ruin. So just stop it and go put this on.
Man, her and Money Love ping ponging off each other on Lady Trace was stupid, bro. Yeah, that album is a classic, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't never go wrong with Queen Lie. Eddie, who you got up next for you?
Yo, man, I got, since it's a Brooklyn Love Fest, I got to go with Biggie, a different song. I'm going with Warning, but it's not the part of Warning. It's not the part of Warning that usually people say at the beginning. Like, my shit is when he gets off the conversation and he says, call the coroner. There's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing. What you think all the guns is for? All-purpose war got the Rottweilers by the door, and I feed them gunpowder so they can devour the criminals trying to drop my death note. Damn.
Yo.
That's different.
Bro,
That's different.
It's so amazing to me how raw, rugged Big was, man. You know what I mean? Like, and just the picture he could paint with that. And then on top of that, the video was crazy too. Like, the video went hand in hand with it. And I always loved how, like, people always saw about Big and Jay being similar, and they are, but I feel like Jay is more political. Like, his warning to me is friend or foe. You know, more like friend or foe, yo, state your bit. Like, you know, like if you said, yo, niggas is coming to get you, write a song. Big is writing warning. C4 to you doing no beef no more. But Jay is more political, like, you know, those your guys, stop, you know, like very, you know, so you could tell them same topic, but they will go in two different directions. You know what I mean? But yeah, Warning was crazy. Definitely. Yes, sir.
You know, when I hear y'all spit, Biggie just popped in my mind. He reminded me of Coltrane. The way he found pockets of flow and stuff. Artistic the way he flows now. Yeah.
Well, and again, Ready to Die is one of the few albums that you actually see an MC grow. Because Give Me the Loot Biggie is not Warning Biggie, and Warning Biggie is not Unbelievable Biggie. Like, you can tell he's recorded through time, because, you know, by the time he got the Unbelievable, it's like that's where he kind of found his flow, because then that's the big we got to know on Life After Death. Whereas if you listen to Give Me the Loot, it was more raw. You know what I mean? But so it's one of the few times you get an album and you're able to see the MC grow. Same thing we always talk about with Black Moon's album, Into the Stage, you know. One shot with who got the props versus how many MCs to go different totally MCs.
Yo, like I actually wish Trey was here right now. I know he might come, because I feel like he had the best Biggie story, saying like when he worked with him for Keep Your Hands High, how he asked him like, man, what you doing? How come you ain't writing anything down? And he's like, it confuses me. But it's like, you don't get that, because it's like the whole concept of it's conceptualized in your head, and then if you write it down and then have to read it back, there's something lost. So that's kind of like how he could get in them grooves and flows and hit that pocket so well, because, you know.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, who you got up next, bro?
Mine is Lauren, and just the end of her verse on Zuggalites. Is that it?
I thought it was Zilla.
That's right.
I don't.
Yeah, and when she just ends it, when she was like, even all my logic and my theory, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me. And crew, remember, take notes as I sold my rap oaths. And for you biting zealots, here's a quote. Like, she bodied that, like the whole verse. And then she come in and say, I just gotta add a motherfucker so you niggas can hear me. Like, that's some ill shit right there.
You always gotta add a motherfucker, because niggas don't know nothing but motherfuckers.
Right. She like just spit some real shit on there. She was like, it ain't even against the laws of physics. Like, she's going in, and then she ends it with like, y'all motherfuckers ain't get it, but let me add a motherfucker so y'all can understand what I'm saying. So I thought that was dope. So Lauren on that. That's my verse.
Yo, truth be told, I don't know if there was this may be a show in itself. When Lauren was in her bag, I don't know if anybody was really hitting with her. Like every bar she spit on the score was just like 5 mics. It was almost like watching female gymnastics. It's like every fucking
like the Simone Biles.
It's like you just keep getting 10s. Like every. And it started with the remix to Nappy Heads. Like it started even before the score, where she just everything from Fuji Lie to just every song on there, she just bodied. You know what I mean? And just it was just catching bodies every time. So yeah, that may be a show in itself right there. People in their bags. I gotta write that down. Ralph, who you got up next, good brother?
I'm gonna go with Nas, and I'm gonna go with, honestly, all three verses was really impactful for me. That's It Ain't Hard to Tell. It Ain't Hard to Tell, like one of my favorite songs all the time. I remember when I first heard it, I was just like, it was just crazy hearing how it's like the perfect flow over a beat to me, over the Human Nature sample that Extra P gave him, and he was just floating, man. You know what I'm saying? Like all three verses, and it was like being able to flow and saying something and still making it entertaining and being able to flow. So, and I know the first verse, it ain't hard to tell. I excel, then prevail. The mic is contacted, I attract clientele. My mic check is life or death, breathing the sniper's breath. I exhale the yellow smoke of Buddha through righteous steps. Deep like the shining, sparkle like a diamond, sneaker Uzi on the island in my army jacket lining. Hit the earth like a comet, invasion. Nas is like the aphrodisiac gazing, half man, half amazing. Cause in my physical, I can express through song. The least stress like Motrin and this thing strong. I drink when wet with Medusa, give a shotgun to hells. From the split that I'm lifting in hell. It ain't hard to tell. And all three verses was just like, like, yeah, this dude different, man. So that was
I remember being in Philly. I got the Source magazine. It had a write-up on the side about It Ain't Hard to Tell, and I went to every mixtape store in Philly looking for that joint. And so I found it on a Clue tape. And if cats remember, Clue tapes used to be mad airy. It wouldn't be no bass. It was all treble. You know what I mean? But it ain't even matter. I just wanted to hear, because they gave you like a little snippet of what he was saying. And just, I drink my wet with Medusa, give a shotgun to hell. Like, yo, like, dog, like.
Yo, yeah, man. Yeah, he was on some shit, man.
It's funny. My next joint is Nas. And the first verse I always think about with Nas is his verse at Live at the Barbecue. I'm in maybe 11th grade. I'm at the train in Philly on City Hall, and I'm listening to the album, and it comes on, Streets Disciple, My Rifle's Trifle, I Shoot Slugs from My Brain Just Like a Rifle, Stampede the Stage, I Lead a Microphone Split, Play Mr. Tuffy while I'm on some Creed Tone shit, Verbal Assassin, My Architect Pleases. When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. First of all, when he said that, I didn't even grow up in the church, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't even bring myself to say that verse. Like, for years, I'd be like, when I was 12, like, I couldn't even bring myself to say that verse, because I'm like, yo, this nigga is saying he snuffed God's son. Like, my nigga, you cannot say, like, we mad about what Meek just said about Kobe. You can't say you snuffed God's son. I was like, you're stepping over a line right now. Like, you're habitual line stepper. And then when he came back with the next joint, I'm waving automatic guns at nuns. I was like, this nigga's a devil worshiper. He wants to go to hell. Like, I really thought Nas was like on a one-way. Like, this nigga's on the express train to hell, because you just said, nobody had ever said nothing like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really, in the grand, and I know now with hip hop, everybody says everything, but things that we used to say, you can't say that. Like, what did Redman say? Like, raw, like, you got cerebral palsy? Nigga, he will be banned tomorrow. Like, the cerebral palsy people would be like, no more Redman. Like, you can't say stuff like that anymore. And it was like, that was like, when Red said that on Headbangers, we always like, yo, this nigga said cerebral palsy, and he growled, and like, so we just couldn't say stuff like that. So that will always be what Nas is known for me, because it was like, I couldn't even say that much for years. You know what I mean? But that's it for me. Adina, who do you got up next?
So going back to Miss Lauren, Miss Hill, from Lost Ones. First of all, I'll get into why I love this album, but. So from Lost Ones, someone play Young Lauren like she dumb, but remember not the game new under the sun. Everything you did has already been done. I know all the tricks from bricks to Kingston. My kingdom make your kingdom one run. Now understand, El Boogie, not violent, but if a king tested me, run for me gun. I could have kept going, because can't take a threat. Newborn son,
this way since creation.
All you fall from temptation. So, like, literally, she went through all the shuns in there, right? Like, I didn't know. And then I definitely love, how she, Chad and I are both, our families from the islands, my family's from Jamaica. You got to know in patois. And I was like, she just mixed, Jersey, Jamaica. Like, she always does that. She does that so well. And, like, the Miseducation, I think I was in 8th grade. It was the first concert I ever saw. I saw it at the theater at Madison Square Garden, and I played that shit in the car because as the passenger, my mom was driving, to the point where I scratched up the CD and I had to get another one because we played it so much. But I love Lost Ones, and I also always wanted to play it after a basketball game, like if the other team lost. First of all, my team sucked, so most of the time we were losing. And then also there was just like no AV person to press play when to run my shit. But yeah, I love that verse.
Yo, the Miseducation, man, that's just one of them albums that's just like, I just feel like 40, 50, 100 years later, like as long as there's human beings walking the planet Earth, with a CD player or MP3 player, whatever we gonna be playing music on, it's still gonna be playing like the Miseducation. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's funny because I was playing it for Nate the other day, and I mean, she's heard it a million times, but it's just funny how songs will speak to you different. Like Father Forgive Them was probably always my least favorite song on that album, but through some bullshit I was going through, I was like, yo, this joint is like speaking to me. Like, I was like, yo, play that again. And like, so the fact that an album that's 20 years old, like a song that I've heard a million times and never really loved, like, it was just like, it just stood out even more, like, was just crazy to me. So I mean, just an incredible album. Chad, what do you have up next, good brother?
Shit. Yo, y'all are really going in. I don't normally be spitting no lyrics. I ain't a rapper. I never. I was at the Wiz buying the tapes for $6.98 though, but I wasn't reciting them like that. But let's see. Here we go. Microphone Fiend. Take it from back to 80s. So, Rakim is one of my favorites. I'm stealing yours. My fault.
No, you good. It's all right.
Yo.
Yeah, like, you know, I was a fiend before I became a teen. I melted microphones instead of cones and ice cream. Music orientated, so when hip hop was originated, fitted like pieces of puzzles, complicated. Cause I grabbed the mic and try to say yes, y'all. They try to take it and say that I'm too small, cool. Cause I don't get upset. I on the speaker pull the plug and I get back to the lab. So I can got a mic to grab. So then I add all the words I had. You know, he just keeps going. Like that's my favorite song of all time. So you know, like, literally, I could keep going all the way through because it really don't stop. You know, but yeah, Rakim was always that dude for me. That's why it was easy to go straight into Nas and AZ. Like hip hop for me is really difficult to grow up here, especially in the time that I grew up. And hearing the lyrics and the bars that people use, like it's funny people use like lyrics from Outkast, but like when you think about bars and the way people put the words together, it has to be extremely intellectual for me to get into it. If it isn't, like I respect all forms of music, I could bop my head, but for me to really get into it, I gotta really listen to the lyrics again and again and again. And if you can't do that to me,
yeah, I feel you. The crazy thing about Microphone Fiend, man, is Rob was one of those MCs that I kept always saying he can't get better. Like, you're making perfect songs. Like, and he just kept getting better. You know what I mean? Everything about that, from the Average White Boy, I think that Schoolboy Crush sample, the sleigh bells that was in there, the way, I don't know, did Marley do that or Eric? I don't know who did it, but just whoever engineered it, when, like you said, I don't get upset, I kick a hole in the speaker, pull the plug, then I jet, then the beat came right back. Like the breakdown at the end of the song with the drums, with I'm the Microphone Fiend, like it was just, after 12, I'm worse than a gremlin. Feed me hip hop, and I start trembling. Like it was like, yo, this nigga's a fucking alien right now. Like, like this dude is
the way that he goes in, like to be that involved with something you love, like that like when I look behind the Dina and you see them sneakers, like that's passion right there. Right. Like you can't explain passion in more words than that. Like Microphone Fiend is literally what passion is.
Right. You know, the funny thing, I don't know if you saw this, but Rakim had an interview recently. He was saying like he kind of regrets. It's almost like he was on his Kobe joint. Like, you know how Kobe didn't fuck with nobody? It was like, I ain't here to be buddy with y'all. He was saying that's how he was in the 80s. Like, he really didn't have no friends in the game. Like, you know, it was peers. Like, yo, I see you. We give, you know, a salute, love what you doing. But it was like, yo, nigga, I'm coming here I want the chip. Like, so I ain't making no friends. I ain't in no crews. I run with these street niggas, and that's that. You know, and he was just saying, like, he kind of regrets that because, you know, he didn't have those relationships. Like Kane tells stories of like KRS and Miss Melody helping him move into his apartment, then they sat there and watched Color Purple. Like, you know what I mean? Like stories like that. And Rakim is like, I just didn't have that because it was just competition is none. Like I don't fuck with y'all like that, you know. So
I mean, I understand it. Like if you going for a crown, how we gonna be friends? Like I don't understand that. Not from where if I'm trying to be number one, I'm trying to step on 2, 3, and 4. I ain't trying to congratulate 2, 3, 4. You gonna be hurt.
Yeah, and it's just funny because when you say that rhyme, it kind of, you see Rakim was never playing. Like, you know what I mean? It was never like he said.
Ain't no games to be playing. Like you grow up in that area. You grow like he's from Wyandanch. Like murderers live in Wyandanch. Like anywhere you talk about in New York City, like something could happen anywhere. Like it's not that was not a place for games back then. Like people who don't, you know, get the chance now to talk about it and moved on or watch their older brother or whatever it is. Like a lot of people who really lived that life are not here to talk about it because it was real back then.
Right. Yeah, it's just crazy, but very dope pick. Vern, what you got up next, good brother?
All right. So the story behind this song on Stakes is High album, Paz killed once again in Long Island, and I remember Q-Tip saying, "Man, that's dope. What you gonna do, Dave?" So Dave comes back with "It's so easy. Them Cubans don't care what y'all niggas do. Colombians ain't never ran with y'all crew. Why you acting all spicy and shiesty? The only Italian you knew was icy. Niggas price me. I'm keeping it clean like a washing machine. Get your locomotion running to full steam." I mean, so Dave, in the way that Dave spits, it ain't gonna be as technical or whatever, but that's Dave. That's my favorite line by Dave on all the De La Soul albums. So yeah, I'm going with this. It's so easy. Dave's verse on that.
That's dope. That's dope. I feel like it's the same thing we spoke about with Big Boy. Like, people shit on Dave like he just that other nigga in Daylight. And I'm like, yo, I actually like Dave more than Paz. I mean, Paz is more lyrical, but I personally prefer Dave over Paz. You know what I mean? So I can't call it. Eddie, what you got up next, good brother?
Yo, I got Black Thought, 100% Dundee.
Okay.
On these 73 keys of ivory and ebony, I swear solemnly that I forever rock steadily. People want to know what Malik, he right next to me. Wait, I just had a brain fart.
And I, you know what? I commend everyone up here coming off of the head. I commend all of y'all.
Oh no, I'm not. I mean, I could, but I'm tired. But I didn't go with the.
Adina got ghostwriters.
Oh man,
Adina got ghostwriters up here.
Don't come at me. I'm like Drake at her 90 starting to freestyle read off my iPhone.
Yeah, man.
You crazy trying to do 100% Dundee off the top. Like,
yeah,
you gotta look that up.
Souls I eat with, contaminated thoughts I walk the street with. I bayonet cassettes and chop beats with. This Olympic lyricism you can't compete with. Globe traveling, throwing a verse like a javelin. Things fall apart and MCs unraveling. Backstage whispering and management like, change the order. It's the way that we can rock after them.
My man rocked the pick like, what's happening? Yeah. Thought and Malik was in his bag. R.I.P. Malik B. But yeah, they both was in their bag. 100% Dundee. JR, what you got up next, bro?
I was gonna go with Microphone Fiend, but I'm gonna go with my second one from Rakim, and I'm gonna just go how he ended. I know I got soul. When he said, when I'm writing, I'm trapped between the lines. I escape when I finish the rhyme. I got soul. I love that. I love, like, yo, it's really like, yo, he's not playing. Like y'all say, he's going for the ship. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, and that song, I love it because of the James Brown sample. So, I love it. So.
I'm telling you, bro, that is a lost art, and we're gonna dig into that one because setting off your rhymes and ending it, like when I'm trapped and when I'm writing, I'm trapped in between the lines. I escape when I finish a rhyme. I got soul, and then flipping to how P starts his rhyme off on Quiet Storm. I live my lifetime in between the lines. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like he's setting it off like that, and then Rakim ending it like that. Like, yo. Yeah, so definitely. Bro, what you got up next, bro?
All right, I got Common, Hungry, and I ain't gonna even attempt, man. Like this, yo, and I used to rap, but I ain't gonna even look, man. This one got so many highlights, and he was on a different time. Like how he started it off, he was like, I walk at night, rhyming, armor bomb a nigga like a winter coat, have you on death row searching for an endoscope, yet I sparkle like Irene Cara, symbolize dope like sirens do terror. Yo, he
just had a baby, someone else decapitated. Yeah. I think Khan felt like he had something to prove with that album. That's actually my favorite Khan album.
Is that One Day It All Makes Sense? Is that
One Day It All Makes Sense.
Yeah. He was
in his bag on that.
Man, what? He was like, regions, my thought scheme was like my offspring, now it's teething. My reason to rhyme applies to season and time, season of my body and regions divine. Like, come on, man. Like he was he was killing that, man. So yeah, that was mine. When I think of Common, I think of other songs, but as a verse, that verse is what I think about because he really that, and when he went back to back with Cannabis,
the name for ourselves. I was gonna say that's the other dope thing about that album because at the time niggas didn't want to get on no song with Cannabis at that time because in '97 Cannabis was that nigga. Like, I love the fact that Common wasn't. My teams call it duck and wreck out here in DC. When you don't, they don't really want to fight. They be like, you trying to duck that wreck? Like, Common was like, nah, Cannabis, come on, let's get on this joint. Let's go. You know what I mean? Dope one. The next joint I got for Jay, whenever I think of Jay, I think of his second verse from Where I'm From. Because I used to work with this white dude. And he was like, yo, Kill, tell me how it was going up. You're killing me. I'm only going with the second verse. Right. You started off with the first verse. That joint is crazy too. And it's crazy because he was asking me what it was like growing up in the hood in Philly. And I was just like, yo, just listen to this. And I literally just played him Where I'm From. Like, literally. And I was like, that's what it's like. You know what I mean? But the second verse, I'm from the place where the church is the flakiest. And niggas been praying to God so long that they atheist. Well, you can't put your vest away and say you'll wear it tomorrow because the day after we'll be saying, damn, I was just with him yesterday. That alone in itself was just such, like, that's what I love about Jay. As a matter of fact, like, just I'm talking to you. Like, what is your mindset to think, because the day after we'll be saying, damn, I was just with him yesterday. You know what I mean? I'm a block away from hell, not enough shots from away from a straight cell, an ounce away from a triple beam, still using a handheld weight scale. You laughing, you know the place well with a liquor store, that's where the base dwell, but the government, fuck government, niggas politics themselves. When we call the cops the A teams because they have other vans and spray things, and life expectancy is so low, niggas is making our wills at 18. You know what I mean? And again, for people watching who may not know what I do, I run teen centers in Southeast DC, been doing it for 20 years, been in 7 different projects in Southeast. These kids are right now wills at 18. This is why my kids and so many teenagers across the nation are wilding, because they don't think they're gonna live past 18. So what happens is the same way if somebody tells you, God forbid, you've got 2 years to live, you ain't thinking about going to work and doing the right thing. You want to live your life, you know? So if you really are 16, 15, 16, you don't think my kids really are looking at the clock like, yo, Mr. Kill, I only got 3 more years. You know what I mean? And think about how sad that is to be 15. Because I grew up in the hood, but I wasn't thinking, damn, I'm gonna die. I wasn't looking at my watch like, okay, damn, I only got 3 more years left. You know, which is why my kids are still in cars, having sex, doing a whole bunch of dumb shit. So just all that just pieces together perfectly, you know, because that's exactly how the hood is, as sad as it is. And what, Jay did this in 97, 98, and the hood is just 10 times worse in 2021. So, you know, but that's what I think about with Jay, with the Where I'm From. Anita, what you got up next, miss?
Quick, we doing 5, right? Because I'm just making sure. Okay, got it. Because I was like, and we're nodding. No, I'm just Listen, like this accelerator, I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, what an accelerator is. Chad and I just went through a 3.5 month process of, it's basically like getting an MBA. Like it's that's supposed to take you 3 years. We did it in 3 months. And like it's non-existent. We've been in the house, you know, but I definitely was like, this is beneficial to us, and we haven't talked to our people in so long. Like it's mostly, you know, people who don't look like us, don't come from where we're from. So this is so refreshing to do right now.
The dope thing is we do a show on the first Sunday of every month, and we'll get you on for that at 6 o'clock on a Sunday.
Oh,
there we go.
That's the one I should sign up for.
Yeah, there we go. We got y'all locked in.
I'm gonna be all bright early. I'm like, I was just playing. No, but like I said, I'm just happy to talk to my people because we haven't seen people that look like us in so fucking long. It's crazy. But anyway, so my next one is J. Cole Power Trip, and I honestly like the lyrics. I think the songs that I picked for this were the ones where I have to stop everything I'm doing in the car and like I must get this verse right or else I have to start over type thing. Or you ever be driving and the GPS lady interrupts you? I'm like, well,
right.
gotta run it back. So this is one of those. It means nothing, but it's a power trip. It says, okay, back when I was sleeping at my mama crib, or even back when I was up there in my Muhammad crib, paying $1,700 for the rent, money well spent, no heater, but a nigga made heat, may I vent. Like, I don't understand Pandantics and how he did that, but it was awesome and I loved it. And that's the one I gotta run back every time if I fuck it up.
Right. That's dope. You out here, you like Steph Curry. You miss a shot, you gotta start all over again. You gotta start all from the beginning.
And Chad knows it. Like there's this one song. I like Chad's it's a Day 26 song. You remember the band?
Day 20? Hell yeah, I remember Day 26.
Come on,
Day 20. Come on, making the band. We about to do an R&B battle here. or sing off. Ooh, yeah.
That had to be one of the funniest moments in television history when they had the R&B battle.
Man, that was
horrible. I'm sorry.
I think it's called "I'm the Reason," and JR, we could talk later about it. But like, if I don't get that verse right, it's gonna run. And Chad's like, "Oh my God, can we stop?" Or even if I get it right, I'm like, "I like it. I'm gonna play it 10 times." He's like, "No, no."
Yeah, that's the opening to the album too.
You don't understand. Okay, I'm done.
I'm with you.
Adina, I don't think you understand. This is the R&B guru right here. Okay, like
he's an alien.
Yeah, he's an alien himself.
Check my qualities in my back pocket.
Bro, a 10-hour trip though. A 10-hour trip. You know how many? Like, nah.
You like, nah. You know what? Oh shit, I left the CD, babe. My bad.
No,
my bad.
No, dead ass. I was trying to take a nap. I was like, yo, is this Groundhog Day? I was like, am I not able to fall asleep?
Good times.
Yes.
Oh god. Oh, just for people out there who may be watching who don't understand Making of the Band. What is Making of the Band, Adina?
Oh my God, it's the greatest show known to fucking man.
I love it.
Crazy thing is, you remember it started out with the white boy bands, O-Town, and then
yeah.
like, I'm doing this over. So Diddy put 20 niggas in a house and was like, y'all all battling to be in my next band. And you got people from all around the world. First of all, the R&B singers, the first one, so they riffing off each other, singing love songs, but in white beaters, and it was just great. And then you had the BA, with Babs, Bunny, Choppa, Fred. They were just
Enes, yeah, man.
Yes.
And it was just with Diddy hazing the shit out of them.
Oh god.
Die-line.
And then you had the Chappelle.
Yeah, that's what I was actually. Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, if you want a great synopsis of it, because Dave Chappelle captured it perfectly. Just Google Dave Chappelle Making the Band.
Yes.
Or you could walk the juniors for some cheesecake.
Yeah.
They stupid for that.
Oh my gosh. Now I gotta go run it back on that.
I'm sorry, Chad. I didn't mean to make you have to watch Making of the Band season 1 through 5 because you want to run it back. I apologize.
Yo, let me tell you, the funny thing is, Adina is 7 years younger than I am. So sometimes the things that we were into, like, that's when you can see the 7-year gap. And it's like, yo, get me out of this house right now.
Like, babe, you know what? I'm going to just go to the supermarket real quick. I'll be back in about 10 hours. Like, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Don't worry about it.
Yo, it's like,
about it. Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
All right, Chad, what you got up next, good brother?
I'm gonna go with a Quiet Storm from Murder Music, Prodigy, of course. At this time, like, it's actually kind of personal. These dudes actually lived not far from where I used to live in Long Island. So I used to see Prodigy and Havoc and Noid all the time on Linden Boulevard. And this was like right around the time when this album dropped. So he was here we go. So the P-Rock 40-inch cables, drinking White Label. My chain hang down on my dick, my piece bang glass tables. Diamonds and guns before the fame, Duke. A nigga like me hold text, are you the same too? A nigga going through the emotions of gun holding, long shot guns down my pants leg, limping. Killer B still living, even my pops too. He taught me how to shoot when I was 7 years. The bus shots crazy. I couldn't even look because the loud sound used to scare me. I love my pops for that. I love my nigga Black. I'll take the life of anybody trying to change what's left. And through all of that, a nigga ain't scared of death. Oh, y'all brand new scared of death. I spent too many nights sniffing coke, getting right, wasting my life. Now I'm trying to make things right. Just like straight up like that, just how things change, man. Like that's really what it is, like seeing the progression. Again, I grew up in this. I watched a lot of these guys come up, and it's unfortunate to see him gone, but watching all of that, like P was nice.
Actually, that's like a top 5 P like verse, and it's hard to even break the verse down because they both so crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but that's a top 5 P song for me. I just think P was in his bag, something stupid.
Also, like the beat, like, so White Lines was another one of my favorite songs growing up as a kid. Like, as a matter of fact, White Lines was the first song I ever memorized as a kid before I even knew what it was about. And like, my parents thought it was hilarious that I was memorizing songs about cocaine and crack. You know, like, what? Like, that's like, you take that of a parallel. Think about some of the people where you grew up and the things you've been around. I'm memorizing songs about coke when I'm a kid. Y'all playing with what? What y'all doing when y'all were kids?
Yes, right. I always think that was supposed to be like for P solo, but it blew up so much. That's why he put Havoc and Lil Kim on it and made it a Mobb Deep joint. Because the OG version is just all P. Havoc don't even rhyme on it.
Yeah, it's all P.
Yeah.
I love that joint. I love that joint.
Yeah, joint is crazy. Bert, what you got up, good brother?
Anybody that knows me know how I feel about my daughter. So I'm going with Common B. Bush pushing lies, killers immortalized. We got arms but won't reach for the skies. Waiting for the Lord to rise. I look into my daughter's eyes. Realize I'ma learn through her. The Messiah might even return through her. If I'ma do it, I gotta change the world through her. I mean, I get emotional even saying that. For real, man. So yeah, I'm going with that one.
Yeah, bro. I actually said that to Nate the other day, and I said with so much emphasis. She was like, "Yo, what is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Yo, listen to the lyrics." Like, yo, that's the problem with your generation. Y'all listen to the lyrics. You know what I mean? But nah, definitely dope pick, bro. Dope pick. Eddie, what you got up?
All right, man. So this one was inspired by you talking about your teens. And there's a Fonte verse from Who Loves You More? And it goes, my cousin hit me up and said he had to post bail again because my brother's back in jail again, back in that slave ship because he tried to sell again. And all that's going through my mind is how the fuck am I feeling him? These youngins want all the spoils but none of the toils. Got me climbing the walls, too good to breast olives but be the first squeaky wheel, ask for oil. I've been at it 10 years, what the fuck is you on? Had me frustrated like, what the fuck do you want? And you know, it's just a perfect description of this new generation. You know what I mean? Like, just lost, just looking for the easy way. Like, we had a discussion the other day. Like, you know, you can't tell them nothing. Like, they won't listen to advice. They just, you know, think they know it. You know what I mean?
Right. Nah, I feel you. Welcome to legendary Philadelphia MC.
Hey,
Tracy Lee, what is going on, good brother?
Yo, I'm wild late, man, but I appreciate y'all including me in this conversation,
man. You already know this apartment 5B, man. You're not going to do the party all night. You know what I mean? Let me introduce you real quick, Trey. This is my man Chad and his wife Adina. They have a dope sneaker website, Another Lane, that they talking about. One of my favorite MCs ever in the game, Trey Lee. Esquire apartment 5B lawyer now. All suits go through him and everything. So yes, you know, he's a lawyer.
Yeah, you know,
Trey, why don't you give us some of your favorite MCs, man, and in a bar that comes to mind when you think of them. I saw your interview talking about how L was your big influence growing up. So,
oh man, he's my biggest influence, but I'm not gonna start with him. I'm gonna start with Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with Cool G Rap wanted Dead or Alive, so you better go and print up posters. Souls are burning like bread in a toaster. You stand in the trance with your pants full of manure. Flesh and blood clogs up the street sewers. Ready to kill someone else in, cause I'm wanted dead or alive like Babyface Nelson. Kick butt, a lot of heart, a lot of guts. And I'm quick to kick a nigga in his nuts. Armed robbery, homicide, 3rd degree murder, plus shit you never heard of. Come in my face with that he say, she say, and I'm gonna kick up your ass like Pele. Look. That man right there.
Yo, I thought that was part of the rhyme. I thought that man right here. I was like, yo, what part of the song? What part of the song is that? Like, no, I was with you till anyway. But hey, I applaud you for being 50 years old and being able to recite something that quickly off the top.
Yo, that dude right there. Listen, I know LL is probably my biggest influence, but I think G Rap for me. And I think we talked about this in another conversation on Apartment 5B. He really, you know, him and Rakim are really the precursor of the today MC. Like the way people present, their lyrics and the structure and the bounce and the syllables and all that. Like, they are the precursor for today's MC, man. And so, and to think about like him doing that back in the late 80s, early 90s, that shit is incredible. It's incredible. It's like futuristic shit. And I think that's the reason why, he never really got the accolades that he rightfully deserved. Because if he did that shit in today's game, motherfuckers would be like, oh my God, what the hell was that? You know what I'm saying? But that's what we were saying back then. But he's separate. But he was so far ahead that people would, like, some of us got it, and then some of us was like, So yeah, I mean, that's just off the top. And then you got, Rakim and, how could I move the crowd? Ain't no mistakes allowed. Here's the instruction, put it together. It's simple, ain't it? But quite clever, like the simplicity. But it's still just like so poignant in what he's saying, you know what I mean? And then, Chuck D, I got a letter from the government the other day, you know what I mean? Like his political, he's standing on a platform and he's really teaching us, because he's an old MC at the time. He got most of us, at least me, by 10 years. He had graduated from college in 1984, you know what I'm saying? I was still in high school, so this is a grown man talking to kids, you know what I'm saying? When he's talking about Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you ought to listen to. It's like, who the hell is Farrakhan? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it made me be like, okay, let me look this dude up and see what's going on. He was a teacher, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, Kane, you know what I mean? Shit, you can rap and step it to me. You want to get some, you know what I mean? Like his whole just moxie. He was just like, I'm like you say, Kill. Like, he made dark skin cats like the shit,
He's the Rosa Parks for dark skinned niggas. Like, until
the Rosa Parks.
He was the Rosa Parks for dark skin. Let me explain something to y'all.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah,
in those days, up until 1988, girls be like, Kill, you cute, but nigga, you too dark. Straight up. I used to hear that all the time. Like, it literally, like, one summer I did not go outside until 10 o'clock at night. I did not play basketball. Word is bond. Like, word is bond to Jesus. I did not go outside all summer because I was going to high school and I said, I'm not going out super dark, so I'm not going outside. I'll play ball at night. I did everything at night. Word is bond to Jesus. Went to high school and all of a sudden everybody loved me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? And it was like, Big Daddy Kane. And it was like, literally, like, I was like, I'm getting with everybody because I don't know when I'm going out of style again. I don't know when this shit is gonna stop. Like, see, Adina, you're younger, so you don't understand this because you came up in the Omar F. Dark skinned niggas was already dark skinned. We're talking about Charlie Murphy, like he said on the Chappelle show. Me and Eddie are the darkest niggas on the planet. Like, that's what we talking about. Like, I came up during the Albie Shore, Christopher Williams, light skin, curly haired dudes, and that was a rough time. That was a rough time for. That was 8 years of hell for me. Just you're nice, but you're not. You're too dark. You nice. One girl said I look like Flavor Flav. I was like, God damn, I look like Flavor Flav. Like, wow, damn. Because think about it, Flavor was the darkest MC out at that time, so it just was easy to just correlate me to Flavor Flav, and I was like. You
wild. OD.
Negative. If you had any self-esteem, it's gone. It's gone.
That color was locked up in our mind. They got
you know what's crazy, Adina? My kids still go through it to this day. I had two light-skinned girls. I'm talking light-skinned, like kid light-skinned. Was like, Mr. Kill, who's darker? And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all are both the lightest people in the world. Like, y'all can pass for white right now, and they're fighting over who was darker. It's like, Lord, that's going to be going on 30 years from now. Like,
one of my close family friends, she was actually in my friend. Sometimes she'll send emojis, and I'll be like, nigga, you ain't that dark. Like, bring it down. And then I'll put mine, and she'd be like, you really think you that light? I was like, just leave me alone. Like, even emoji.
And you talk about it on your end, so I'm on the opposite side, being as yellow as whatever, right? So my mother's brown skin, my sister's brown skin, so I'm the beige nigga child. That's what.
Yeah, but you know the craziest thing, bro, is that God, this could be a whole nother show in 5 minutes. I'm gonna stop this in the next 30 seconds. But it's funny because you never see it from the flip side. You know what I mean? Like when I saw Jungle Fever and that scene when his wife is explaining it to Flipper about like how she got made fun of for being light skinned, and I'm like, how? Yo, light skinned girls had it all in the like, what are you talking about? You know, and it's just so funny to see the different versions. Or in Jungle Fever, how the white girl's like, oh my God, your skin is so beautiful. And he's like, yo, I've been called every dark, black spot. Like, so it's just, it's a whole, Adina, I'm with you on that. And the most heartbreaking thing is, like I said, it's still going on. Kane came out in 88. I always say I got freed in 88 and it's 2021 and people are still arguing and fighting about colorism between
us. You're so right about that. Like my family went through it. Like that's like it ended with my generation really over the colorism. Like literally family members favoriting one over the other because of skin color. Like that's some crazy shit, but it's
very real. It's very real. All right, Trey Lee, you just came in and shut down the whole show. You just named like 8 rappers and plus like 8 rhymes in like 5 minutes. That's on number 4. And Trey just did all 5. Like, all right, I'm in and I'm out. Deuces.
I'll say Cool J for last. My bad.
Yeah. Save out because that's what I really want to hear about. Eddie just went when Trey came in. So JR, who you got up next?
I got Fave, and I got when he did Infamous Date Rape. Anytime I think about it, when he said, you know the signs, you get buck wild, running make games if your name was Styles, or better yet, Magic, or even Karl Malone, regardless who it is, your aim is the bone. When he passed, that was my first song that I went to. That line right there, yo, I can never forget that line when my pops brought home Low End Theory, and he recited that verse over and over and over. So that line for me, when he opens with his second verse, he killed it. So
nice. One of the things I loved about Fife, he was one of the first MCs who talked about sports all the time. He always was talking about the Knicks.
So that works.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And at the time, Scott Skiles was that guy out there in Orlando. You know what I mean? So very dope, very dope, very dope. Bro, who you got, bro?
I got Rakim. I got Rakim, Know the Ledge.
Hold up for one sec, bro. JR, did Vernon say something about Myron? Because you laughed.
No. I said I hate.
No. He said he hates Scott Styles.
Okay.
Y'all still talking about Myron?
Yeah, man.
Very outfit today. No.
First of all, Adina and Chad, I like this singer from the 90s named Myron. Vern makes fun of it all the time. So, and it's a great album. Portia
Myron is dope.
It's a dope album. And she said it's a dope album. You know,
I will try to look for it and run it.
You don't look at the cover right now.
Yeah, don't look at the album cover. Whatever.
Oh Lord.
Cover, y'all.
There you go, right there. That's Myron. There you go. Right. I mean, yeah, the cover's whack. But hell, so it's the guy's cover. It's my album of the year. I apologize, bro. I thought anytime there's laughter in between, Vern being in the chat over on the side.
Hey, that caught me off guard.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Go ahead, bro. With No Delay.
I'm putting a moratorium on that. I ain't messing with Myron no more.
Okay, I'll put it back. All right, my fault, bro. Go ahead with Know the Ledge with Rakim.
My bad. Know the Ledge, man. One of my favorite, Rakim songs. He, of course, he got in his bag. I know this by heart, but I'm not trying to mess this up, man. So I'm a look, but I just remember certain parts. He was like, I go to Queens for Queens to get the crew from Brooklyn. Make money in Manhattan and never been tooken. Go to Uptown in the Bronx to boogie down. Got strong on the island, recoup and lay around. Time to build my juice back up, props back up, suckers get smacked up. No doubt the clout, you know what I'm about. Knocking niggas out, shaking them up, waking them up, raking them up, and breaking them up. Standing on shaky ground too close to the edge. Let's see if I know the ledge. Yo, man, that's, again, an alien. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was in his bag on that song. That's one of the, I knew about Rakim, of course, before that, but at my age, that song really caught my attention more. Like, that was like, when that came out, that was like my favorite song. The video, oh, nice. Man, there you go. Yeah, Vern. Yeah. So that song, it coincided. Like, how did he was able to like incorporate the whole movie though into his song without really talking about the movie. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was masterful, man. So I'll go with No the Less, Rakim.
And one thing people don't talk about that song with, that whole Juice soundtrack was kind of saving MCs. You know what I mean? Because Rob was nowhere near where Kane was. It's falling off because Kane's joint on there, Enough Respect, was crazy. That kind of brought him back. You know what I mean? But you know, some of the production with Rakim was kind of getting kind of off. But when the Bomb Squad came with No the Ledge, it was. And then to open the movie up with that, I remember being in Cheltenham Mall in the hood in Philly, and it's just like when that movie came on with that, it was just like it was a show. It was a show. Trey, I'm actually glad you're here because I want to talk about the next person I got up is KRS-One.
Ooh.
And the thing that I want to talk about KRS is poetry, which is from 87 Criminal Minded. And the thing that I want people to understand is that, so this dropped in 87. Poetry probably was a 12-inch in 86. He may have wrote it in 85.
That's my favorite Chris record, son.
Good. So you can help me with this because I'm going to use some terminology and I could be wrong. So you being an MC, you can help me with this. Here's the thing, y'all. I want to paint a picture. In 85, you're talking about The King of Rock by Run DMC is probably one of the biggest songs out. You know what I mean? And it's very simplified, not in a negative way, but the king of rock, there's none higher. Suck MCs to call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must use fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire. That's the way cats rhyme. Mm-hmm. When I heard poetry, and I know we give all the props to Rakim for changing the way MCs rhyme, but I feel like it needs to be like a trilogy of people because I feel like Chris was right there changing the way MCs rhyme. So peep this. Now you're forced to listen to the teacher that's in lesson. Class is in session so you can stop guessing. Just right there. Like he's not doing your regular until I retire. You must use fire. He's like class is in session so you can stop guessing if this is a tape or a written down memo. See, I'm a professional. This is not a demo. In fact, call it a lecture, a visual picture, sort of poetic in rhythm like mixture. Listen, like Trey, what is that like that he's taking a sort of a poetic and rhythm like mixture? Listen, I'm not dissing, but there's something that you're missing. Maybe you should touch it. Reality, stop wishing for beats that with plenty bass and lyrics that in haste. If the meaning doesn't manifest, put it to rest. Like he's taking 3 to 4 words and rhyming them in the same span that the average MC at that time was just doing one word at the end. Right. Like, what? How do you even explain that as an MC? Like, break that down to me as an MC because you're talking about, listen, I'm not dissing, but there's something that you're missing. So in the one bar, you've already rhymed 2 words when the average MC was just rhyming 1 word in 1 bar.
Well, it really is 3. Listen, I'm not dissing,
but there's something that you're missing.
Something that you're missing. So it's really 3. So really, it's again, we're going back to the syllable to the syllable structure and the bounce within that frame. You know what I mean? So what KRS did right there, instead of like you said, sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must use fire. Like he took 3 words within that scheme with the same syllable structure and bounced them at the like basically inside of that pocket. So it's kind of like you read the beat. You read the beat and see what it allows you before you get from, you know, the between the kicks and the snares, and before you get to the next kick. You know what I mean? Ba-boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, da-dum. That's how the beat is going. So he's riding it inside of those grooves, and he decided to take 3 words that rhyme with the same type of listen, missing, dissing, and use them within that framework. You know what I'm saying? And that's what gifted MCs are able to do. But you got to be able to read the beat. You got to be able to understand where the kick and the snare lands, and then even riding that bass line, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Kind of to bounce all of these syllables in one little frame together. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah.
So it's like a alliteration he used. I'm an English major, so when I listen to he
gonna give you the technical shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. But he was able to use something called alliteration, where you take the
I like that. I'm gonna write
the sound of words and you, because how he rhymed those words, like it's sound based. Yeah, you can hear how if you take this word and this next word and this next word, instead of like the four bar setup like that's easy to do, like he just he combined all that into one bar. Like only the best
the great
do stuff. Yeah, do stuff like that. Like it's really, when I heard you spit it, technically, like what I would teach my kids is that's a form of alliteration, but he takes it to another level because he has a rhythm with his, like it's like Trey was saying, like that's some different stuff right there. Like that.
I mean, he found that pocket. Like, he found the pocket. We found a pocket. You know what I'm saying?
So for everybody out there, Poetry, KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded, probably the most played album I've ever probably played in my life. Adina, what is your number 5 song for us tonight?
All right. So I was kind of going back and forth. I had like some Kanye and then I had Nicki Minaj, but I was like, this is a very recent song, and it also speaks to, I feel like a lot of the songs I pick speak to my age on this podcast, but it is what it is.
I love it.
So it speaks to us because this is where we are in our life right now. So it's Jay again, and it's from the Carter's album, but it's Boss. And he says, it's everybody's bosses till it's time to pay for the office. To them invoices separate the men from the boys. Over here, measure success by how many people successful next to you. Here we say you broke if everybody's broke except for you, boss. Wow. And like, even that just gives me chills talking about it, because it is we're in this business. There are invoices, there are 1099s, we are paying people and shit is happening. And sometimes I really think that people think we are their peers. Like, oh, I sell candles on the side, I'm your peer. I'm like, no, I'm a company with a valuation of this and taxation complications and things, and an office that has to be paid for. So hearing that, it was inspiring, but also like, I'm broke if the people next to me ain't getting nothing. Like there's another J verse. I put my niggas on, my niggas put they niggas on. Now we all somewhere foreign, chilling, sipping something. Like it is really for all of us to continue to grow, for the person next to me to be well off. And that really hit me. I know Chad and I sometimes we spit that, be like, yes, invoices in offices, we're doing this. This is what's happening. So that's it.
That's dope. Chad, what you got up for your last one, good brother?
For my last one, I'm going with Kane with Raw. So I appear right here and scan here, a mere musketeer that would dare to compare. I do declare getting busy is where it's at, but what you're saying, you wouldn't get a point for that. You're a featherweight and your rhymes you carry white. But I drop bass just like Barry White. So how you think you could pose a threat? Say you're rocking. How many shows you get? Or your vocals go local on MIC. Go great distance like AT&T. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Nothing you can do to this. Fuck around with Kane to come out like I'm blue for this. So like that.
Jesus.
Yes.
I was like 10. So when that was coming out, I'm like, ain't nothing touching that. When I was 10 years old.
You was 10, man. Here we go.
Chad was an angry 10.
but that's beautiful that you was privy. Like that was just kind of like your. I don't want to say it was your first experience at 10, but my first experience at 9 was hip to hop, the hibbit to the hibbit. So for you to get that at 10 years old, man, that's like. Wow, that just tells me how far that it went. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Between that time period. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Kane, you can't. I don't think there's anything you can say bad about Kane, especially during those first 2 albums. I mean,
for me, like, how can you listen to this and know that this dude literally is from a mile from where you live?
Right.
Like when it comes to that, it's like, yo, I could do anything. You can't tell me that I can't do something when I see all the people that are from where I'm from doing all this. Like when I look at Jay, Big, like Most Def, everybody, like literally, basically every hip hop from New York, you see everything that everybody's done and what it's become, and it's like, this is where I come from. So don't tell me I can't do it. I could do anything.
It's crazy you say that, B, because I say this to Trey all the time. Me and Ev both do. He had a song on his first album, Many Faces, called "Living on the Edge." You know what I mean? He's got this line where he says, "And I refuse to go back to Philly till my shit's together." You know what I mean? And I had the demo of that before the album even came out. I used to be at Morgan. I moved to Atlanta after I graduated, and that was like my catchphrase. Like, I refuse to go back to Philly till my shit's together. You know? So it's crazy to then link back up with my man Ev, and Ev say, yo, that shit was my catchphrase too. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel what you're saying when especially for you being from Brooklyn, like you saying, this is an MC who lives a mile away from me. You know what I mean? So like, cause that's how it was, like I said, with Trey, and that was like always my catchphrase. Like, it was like, yo, I refuse to go back. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you on that. Trey, what was your mindset when you wrote that line?
I mean, it really, literally, that's what it was, because I didn't want to, it's almost like I don't want to go back home until I'm a success, but I didn't feel like I can get success back at home. You see what I'm saying? Which I don't know if that was the right mind state or the wrong mind state, but it just felt like I needed to achieve success elsewhere and then bring it back to the crib and then help others to achieve success. You see what I'm saying? Because of the way Philly is, you know, and you're from the town, you know what I'm saying? You from the crib, you know, there's a certain mentality, you know what I mean, that people have in Philly. And I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but it tends to stay in the Philadelphia mentality. And I feel like there's a bigger world out there. So let me go out here and find what that is and then bring it back to the crib and show you there was some other shit out here, man. You can stay here physically, but you don't have to stay here mentally. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I think the dope thing about Chad too, what you're saying, is that this wasn't like no inspirational song. This is raw. This is just what it is. It's just raw. It's just somebody spitting, but just the fact that it was so dope had you believing at 10, I could do whatever. You know, it wasn't like a Nas.
I could do whatever. I could stand up to whoever. You can't stop me. Like all the music from that time was basically like go against the grain, and that's what I basically took from it. That like hip hop back then was go against the grain music, and to do something different. And that's what I was about. My parents were artists. That's what they were about. We're not about the status quo. I'm not about getting in line. I'm not about fitting in. I'm about standing out.
Right. That's dope. Right. Trey, what you got for LL? Because I know I want to hear good LL, John.
All right, so I'm gonna take it from a popular song, but again, I don't think people understand like the lyrical prowess that L had in 84.
85.
You know what I'm saying? This is pre KRS. This is pre-Kane. This is pre-Rakim. This motherfucker was saying, and this is on some battle moxie shit, the bells are circulating like the blood in your veins. Why the girl is on the tip? LL's your name. Her creator's good. Cool J, good. You bring the woodpecker, I'll bring the wood. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the wittiness. The bells are whipping and ripping at your body and soul. Why do you love Cool J? We like rock. What do you say? Why do you like Cool J? We like rock and roll because it ain't the glory days with Bruce Springsteen. I'm not a virgin, but you know I'll make Madonna scream. You hated Michael and Prince all the way ever since. If the beats were made of meat, then they would have to be minced. Like, think about the words. Think about, like, you know, the similes and metaphors in that little structure. That we talking about 6 bars right here at the end of the record. But nobody was rhyming like that. Like the vocabulary, the you know what I'm saying, reverting back to, you know, I'm not a virgin, but you know I mean Madonna scream. Like, ain't nobody saying shit like that in 84, 85. You know what I'm saying? I guess not, it's just this is a futuristic way of rhyming. And that's the way he was able to capture the audience back in 84. I was 14 years old. I don't know how old y'all was, but I was like,
I was 10.
Who the fuck is this? And why is he rhyming like that? I never heard that shit before. You know what I'm saying? Right, so that's why. And again, and I know it's hard for people to conceive this, but you have to put yourself back in that time space to understand when you got a cat that's coming out like this, when all you've heard all your life is, now get on the dance floor and rock the beat.
Right.
Put your hands in the air and say, ho, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this motherfucker comes with this kind of shit. If the beats were made of meat, then they would have to be minced. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I started doing with my teams, Trey? I would play them like what you just did. I would play them what else was out at that time and then play them that. You know what I mean? Because if you just play them that, they're not gonna be able to time travel back and think of a time when it wasn't like that. So it's like you almost gotta start them off with some old, again, no disrespect, because I love it, but like you said, running them wasn't rhyming like that.
Nah.
And even with rhyming those,
just like the flu, watch out, homeboy, before it gets you. We hearing shit like that, and then this motherfucker, if the beats were made of meat, then they would have to be minced. Who the fuck is using the word minced?
Right.
Who's using that?
Context is key, man. Context is key. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are looking at this stuff in hindsight and thinking like that's just the way things were because we evolved so far. But it's like, nah, man, it wasn't like that. And L was like a superhero. Like, so again, like I grew up in the area, so L used to be at Green Acres Mall buying stuff for his dances. He would be on Springfield at the McDonald's chilling, and he would just be the man. All the girls would be coming to the car to try to get autographs and all of that. I'm there with my grandmother buying French fries. He was the man. Like, I remember one time walking up, I was with one of my little cousins at Foot Action in Green Acres Mall, and he was buying stuff for his dances, and we in there just looking, and just him talking to us. We're like, yo, LL just talked to us.
Like you said, he was like folklore. He was like a superhero.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Trey. He's like a superhero.
Yeah, he was a B-boy, dog. He had on the gold rope. He had on the leather bomber. He had on the bell top. He oozed, and I say this all the time, he oozed the culture. Like, Run DMC came with the leather jackets and the hats and the Adidas with strings out of them. You know what I'm saying? But everybody really couldn't, and I'm not saying everybody could afford what L had on, but at least you saw that shit in the store and was like, shit, I want the LL Kango. You didn't want to dress, you didn't want to come out in the street with the leather pants and the leather jacket like Run DMC, at least as a shorty. But you did want the gold rope. You did want, whatever L had on, because you saw it in the joint. I want the bell top. I'm getting the bell top. You know what I'm saying? I want the name belt. I'm getting the name belt. I want all that shit he got on. He was the first person we saw was like, I want to dress like that dude. I want to have moxie like that. He got all the chicks. The dude's name is Lady Loves Cool James. You know what I'm saying?
I can't front though. L was the man. Like, he was the man. Like, there's no lies told there. Like, I'm a witness that he was the man.
Got on my favorite picture. He got on the Jordan. I mean, like, you just start and end right there with this dude got on the Jordan 1s. Like you said, Trey, like, you could go into the store and be like, yo, I want the black jeans. I want
he had on the Latifah. He had
on the red Kango.
He had on the jeans.
No, but what used to bug me out though was that, like, you could just see him on a regular day and he was really like this. That's what made it real for me. Yeah. Like, it's different. Somebody up in the video, you see somebody up on a cover, that's when they're getting dressed up. But when you just see a regular dude just going through the drive-thru in McDonald's and he looks like that, you're like, all right, this dude is about the life, so that's, like, and when I tell you McDonald's on Linden and Springfield, it's still there, they keep, but that's where I used to see him.
That's dope.
But think of the versatility of L though, man. Like, cause he, the ladies loved him. He can make the songs for the ladies,
and he could beat
but
you
try
up.
to battle him. Try to battle him and see what happens. Like, he never ducked, like duck and wreck. He never ducked no wreck from nobody.
He'll spot you like a jelly bean.
Yep.
Yo, battle him if you want to.
Yo,
Go
that
ahead.
line sounds corny right now, Adina, but yo, when I'm Bad came out that video, I made my dad record that on the VCR. I probably watched that video back and forth.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest LL fan until I saw that fool in concert at the Omni burn that mug down. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. I get it. Yeah.
Yo, did he come there with the big box?
With the big radio, did he come out to take that? There you go.
Yep.
Bro, the man killed his Unplugged concert.
Yeah.
For MTV, like,
yes, he did.
Yo, man, and you know, people talk about the cannabis battle, but like at that time, nobody was trying to battle no cannabis. And L was how long? He was 25 years in the game at that point, and he went at him like, yo, he was. That was my first favorite rapper of all time. Like
that dude said, you don't want to bar that. You want to idolize.
Yeah. I mean, he. Whether you feel he lost or won that battle lyrically, he ended that dude's career because on the GOAT album, he had a song "Where I Belong," and it was it was like throwing dirt on his grave. Like when you hear it, it was like, damn, like he's done. Like leave him alone. Like you know what I'm saying?
And you felt bad for him, huh?
Yeah, yo. When you listen to that, listen to Where I'm From. On the GOAT album. Ja Rule's on the hook. Where I Belong, back where I belong. That's the name of it. And he just like kicked him while he was down. Like he was down and he stomped on him. But that's down.
But to Adina's credit, I'll be quite frank. You know, I didn't really like I'm Bad lyrically. I really didn't. But the visual made me like the song. I know because again, that song came out in 87. I'm going back to 84 when he was, you know, I'm the great insulator, microphone dominator, the LL, my name is LL, manipulator, innovator, connoisseur, you know what I'm saying? So he's really introducing me to vocabulary again because my ears so in tune to Curtis Blow, and I mean Melly Mel did too, but my two, you know, most of the records that were coming out was, you know, just on some, you know, throw your hands in the air type shit, and he's giving me all these words that I gotta go look up. So when I heard I'm bad and I heard I'm notorious, I crush you like a jelly bean, I really wasn't impressed with the lyric, but his moxie made me be like, damn, that shit is hard. Even though it sounded kind of, it shit was hard though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool Mo D thought he could pull that Busy Bee shit on L. That shit was not happening.
That was not working.
At all. Bro, who you got for your last one, good brother?
I can't count, so I got 3 after this, but I'm gonna go with this.
I can't.
Adina about to fall asleep. Adina may have to tap out. Chad, you with us, brother?
I'm still with you, but I feel like I gotta go get my peace pipe.
No, that's what we not doing. But I said,
originally you said, Adina, before you dip, tell us all about Another Lane, just one more time. Everything about it, where they can get at you guys on social media, everything.
I really feel like the old head in the club falling asleep, like just like over here thinking about how I used to be a hot girl.
Hey, Kill, you gotta bring them back, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get them on a Sunday. We gotta get them on a Sunday. It's 6 o'clock.
I'll be brunching. I'll get the mimosas. We do it. So, like we were saying earlier, love the show. And Another Lane, we're the premier destination for dope kicks. We're creating an epicenter for sneaker culture. We got a dope ass marketplace right now. So if you got kicks, new, used, no box, we're here for you. Platform makes it super easy to upload your shoe. Chad and I are here to for price researching, for educations on the shoe. It is a membership-based site, so you will apply. Chad will be on the other end of your application vetting you. And this is like, we making sure the real is coming in. We're tired of the fugazi. We're tired of the bullshit. So that's why we're here for y'all. Currently, there's no seller fees when you sell your shoes. So what you put up is what you get out outside of credit card processing, but it is what you get. That's where we're at with Another Lane.
And what's the website, everything?
Yes, anotherlane.com. Just anotherlane.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Another Lane. Same thing on Twitter. There's a small underscore underneath it. And then you got Chad, Sneaker Galactus on Instagram, and then S Galactus on Twitter. Always out here either loving or hating on the newest release. And I love to hear him go in. Or somehow, my favorite part is I always find out that we added a sneaker to our personal collection, because he'll be on Twitter like, yeah, got a W on this one. And I'm like, what the fuck? We bought a shoe? I'll text him. I was like, so we got more. Yeah, they coming tomorrow. I'm like, so. That's
married life, y'all. But at least I don't have to hide it. I'd be like,
that is true. That is true.
Yeah, here it's for the business. I was like, but you went to the store though. So I was just like, I don't know.
I love it. I love it.
I was gonna say, like Vern said, we got to get y'all back on. It'll be a Sunday afternoon. It will be a Sunday afternoon because I saw Adina. I'm like, Adina ain't gonna make this. So when Vern said 3 more, I was like, all right, we might as well just hit the
No, I told you the last time when we tried. I told you I was like, yo, sometimes because we work, like I'm up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So 4 o'clock in the morning, by the time like 7, 8 comes around, I'm feeling like an 80-year-old man. Like I need my nap.
Like I said, we haven't really got to talk to people that look and sound like us for a while. So this is a sigh of relief, and it brings us back down to some like normalcy. It makes us feel good.
Yeah. Well, the first Sunday, mark it down. I think it's the 7th. The first Sunday in March. Okay. So.
Mimosas on deck. I know it's.
Thank you, Adina. I appreciate you.
Okay.
What'd you say? Oh, is he sleeping?
I thought Eddie was asleep up there.
All right, I'm out. You guys
Adina.
So much. I don't know how to get out this shit though.
There's a little button that says leave studio. I think.
No, I am the old lady in the club.
I got you, Adina. I got you. Get out of here. I'll leave. Like, where's the accident, Kill?
Yo, so that's really her in real life. So if we out somewhere, that's exactly how it happens too. But usually then I'm gone too, cause
right. I feel you to ride home, so I feel you. I feel you. I trust me. I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. What you got for your last joints, man?
All right, so Sneaker Galactus and Adina got me to thinking. This lyric is me, dog. Y'all know I'm in sales. Nigga, I get my by any means on whenever there's a drought. Bring your umbrellas out, because that's when I brainstorm. 2016. 2017.
There you go. Show them awards, brother.
2018. 2019.
Talk heavy.
2020.
Big bro.
And I'm a humble dude, but nigga, come on. I do this. So yeah, that speaks to me, bro.
Yes.
No doubt. Hey, that's a plug for the closer right there. We was on the news podcast. I said, you go to Rucker Park, you gotta leave with a nickname. That nigga the closer. Like that's the closer. If you in Atlanta and you're not buying a house from that man right there, that's when you lost. Like Souls of Mischief said, that's where you lost. So get with the closer right there. Eddie, what's up with you? Who you got left, bro?
Oh, me? Oh,
yeah.
I thought Vern was gonna do more.
No, I'll come back.
Okay. No, I got all right. So I'll do Nas. The World Is Yours. I love the way he kicks it off. I sipped the Don P, watching Gandhi till I'm charged and writing in my book of rhymes all the words past the margin. To hold the mic and throb and mechanical movement, understandable smooth shit, the murderers move with the deep theme. Save me at night, they don't act right. The scene of hip hop has got me stuck like a crack pipe.
The mind activation, I'm facing time like Pappy mate. Yeah, man. Oh, my God.
Wipe the sweat off my don't put the phlegm on the street.
Suede Timbs off the beat, complete.
You got everybody.
Yo, and the wild part is I love the remix just as much when he would change little words. You know what I mean? Like,
when
he would change the words for the Q-Tip remix. You know what I mean? And that was back when niggas like Montero Jeep. You say Montero to somebody now, they don't know what that is. Like, yo, Montero Jeep was the shit.
Yeah, do they still make that? Do they still make that?
I don't think so.
I don't even know. I said that on Twitter the other day. I said, yo, I make my beats for niggas in the Isuzu Amigo, Isuzu Amigos. And they was like, what's an Amigo? I'm like,
like, yo. Hey, what's an Isuzu?
Yeah, like, what's an Isuzu? I'm like, yo, the Amigo. And then they came out with the Rodeo. Like, yo,
bro.
You could take the back. You could take the back off, man.
Yeah, man.
like the Mitsubishi Galant. Like
right. Like you said, I'm either in the six joint or Montero Jeep. I can't call it. You know what I mean?
Remember the MPVs? Man.
I don't know if Wu-Tang had a video without an MPV in it.
That was the vehicle of choice in the mid.
MPVs and millennials back then. For me, it was like,
yeah.
I mean, that was.
I even want to say the long body like 929 joints was hard. Like I don't know, the boys around the way was like we go by a year. Like the boy, I was always watching the dudes that were getting it. They always had the fly shit. So, you know.
Yeah. The Act Legends and Act Vigors, man. They were
the Act Vigors.
There was a dude. I want to say like 9'4". I want to say maybe it was like Mark II Jetta. He had an all white joint, all whited out with German plates on it and everything in New York City, like white leather, black piping, like fire.
Yeah, you're about to make me go in the closet real quick, man.
This may be a show too, old hip hop cars, because I'm always explaining to my kids back in the day you can have a Jetta, and that was the shit. Like
a Jetta, what?
With that, like the
Jettas was in the videos, like the Jettas was, man. Come on, man.
Yo, the first joint that I ever got to really like trick out was a Jetta. That's what I went for. It was like, I'm gonna get this Jetta. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna put these OZs on it. I'm gonna put this whole. I'm gonna get this custom system, and my roof is gonna be crippled up when I'm dropping. You're gonna hear me 3 blocks away.
Yo, and the crazy thing is my teams be like, yo, a Volkswagen? Y'all was watching. I'm like, yes, a Volkswagen. Like, I'm like Buster said, yo, then I got my Cherry Pathfinder. Like, yo, we was good. We didn't have that.
Hey, kiddo, you remember the Jeep era in Philly? My older cousin got a red Pathfinder, uptown. My cousin Billy. And he was the man. That red Pathfinder, he was the man.
If you had the 4-door Pathfinder, because remember at first they only had the 2-door joints, but if you got the 4-door Pathfinder
with the wheel on the back, man, come on, man. That's what's crazy.
Yo, in like '94, when Camry, like Toyotas had changed the body up, made it a little.
When they came out with the Camry coupes,
but when they came out exactly with the 2-door coupes,
my
cousin was playing for St. John's, so he was playing for the Red Man. He had the red Camry 2-door with the gold kit. I was like, yeah, he's doing it. Like, and you know, here we are now, 2021. Like, I got multiple BMWs. Like, that was nothing back then.
Right.
Y'all left out the box Maxima.
And the box Maxima wagon. That was the
box Maxima came with the EQ already in it. You ain't even have that. That came from Nissan.
The Maxima or the Cressida, whichever one really.
That came with the EQ already in it. You know what I mean?
My old head had
everybody watching who's under the age of 45. Y'all have no idea what we're talking about.
No clue.
Some of these names. Google Pathfinder. Google some of these names.
I got one for y'all. My old head had a Sterling. Y'all remember them Jones?
My cousin had a McCaw. Do you remember those?
I don't remember McCaw.
McCaw XR4 Ti.
Merker. Yeah, my wife had one. Yeah, it's kind of like a Saab-ish. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
It was like a German Ford.
Yeah. I know y'all remember when Infinity first hit the scene with the Q45.
That was
like Big said, bust shots out the window. Oh no, Lexus coupes. I mean, no, he did say Q45.
Yeah, he said
Q45.
And Nas said, if I rule the world and every life in it, sky's the limit. I push the Q45 Infinity. Come on,
Q45s, J30s, like
J30. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
like cars was my thing. Like I don't want to incriminate myself, but I was paying a lot of attention to cars back then.
We understand what's going on. We got you. That's all you have to say.
Hey, Trey, statute of limitations. You the lawyer on here.
Yeah. As long as it's not a murder, you good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. But I mean, those are the days where, like, you know, you could push a whip like that. I never forget in Juice. Y'all talking about Juice? Remember Special Ed got in the Passat? Nah, that was Passat. That was just a Passat. And I mean, it was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So in 1990, you have a Volkswagen Passat and beat a man. You know, now you pull up in a Volkswagen Passat, it's like, look at this.
They laughing.
Yeah. Funny story. One of the dudes who was one of Special Ed's dancers actually filmed a sketch comedy show that I was doing mad years ago. His name is Wiener Miliani. He was one of Special Ed's dancers. It went to Tilden.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so funny because certain words bring me back to certain songs. Because when you said a Sterling on Ace's Take a Look Around album, he got John when he be talking about Merlin with the Sterling. You know what I mean? And then when you say Tilden, that brings me back to Slick Rick.
Right next to my building.
Right next to my building. Like, yo, so it's just funny how hip hop is like that. You know,
when I think Sterling, I think Greg Knight said, "Drive a red Sterling in the seats recline." What song was that? I don't even remember.
I know what you're talking about. Hold on.
I love it when the late seats treats me fine. I'm having on the green, I have a glass of wine. He say, she say, heard it through the grapevine. No static, got an automatic. Too much of anything makes you an addict. What song is that?
Oh yeah. That's
sometimes I rhyme slow. Sometimes I rhyme slow. Sometimes I rhyme quick. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was a good flashback for cars. That was a good car flashback.
That's a whole nother show, Kim.
I'd love to be a part of that. That's fun.
And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a hip hop show.
You gotta do cars in fashion. You gotta do cars in fashion.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Another Lane is all about. Like, that's the whole reason why, like, all of this, like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like I was a dope boy if I was here watching them. You know, and there was a lot of fly shit going on back then. So I'm here and like literally everything we bring it back to essence because that shit's gone.
That's hip hop. That's the culture.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's like a 3-point intersection.
You talking about fashion? I know you remember this.
Shirt Kings.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. Come on, man. I had mine. I had plenty of them Jones. Graffiti on the jackets, on the shirt, on the sweatshirt, the rhinestones. Man, I ain't gonna get deep into it. I'll wait for that episode. We
definitely gotta do that. What's up, man?
I need a book list because I need a book list.
While you bullshitting, straight up, like, can you?
No, you definitely had good books. Good books. Yo, the Coliseum was the shit back then.
Matter of fact, can we get a book club, please? Can we do that?
No, we used to. We had Apartment 5B spinoff called Book of Rhymes.
Let's do that.
Every month.
And like, let's get together once a month. Let's go through a couple of Johns and let's talk about it. I'm with that.
I mean, y'all,
I'm with that. I'm with
that right there. Low Life.
Oh man, Thurston Howell III. Ain't he a low life?
Yeah. Back in the day.
I did all that shit.
It's books for days down here.
I met Thurston hanging out with Dallas Penn back in the day. You know, like cool dudes. Yeah, man. Like,
but I tell y'all, everybody, buy this. This is the book everybody needs to buy.
I'm serious. Kill, seriously. I'm
gonna give it to you. That's why I'm pulling out.
I'm talking about the book club shit. Let's get that started.
Is that on Amazon?
Yeah, that's on Amazon. You know what, Trey? We can start with this if you want.
I don't care what we. Ooh.
What's that?
The history of Rough House Records with That's Started in Philly.
That's at the
Cypress
crib.
Hill, Chris Cross, and the Fugees.
Yes.
Because I know Porsche already has it, so she's good with this. So we could start with this, and in a month we just set it off with this.
Let's do it.
Rough House.
Yeah, that's a story I know nothing about, so I'd like to learn about that.
All right.
I'll text it to everybody.
It's on Amazon?
Yeah. Yeah, I think like 10. I don't even know if I paid $10 for this. Brand new.
I'm looking it up now.
I'll go to the library. I'll go to the library.
And we start the book club and we put it on Zoom and we talk about it. It's an education.
You want to do this right here, The Last Shot by Darcy Frey.
Yeah, I need all that.
Top 5 basketball book ever. It's about 4 cats from Coney Island going to Lincoln High School, trying to get recruited. 3 of them in their senior year of high school. Stephon Marbury's A Freshman. One of the dopest books I've ever read. Right.
Wait, so that's a real book? All right, because I like you said, Steph, like you say that because like I'm like it's like maybe I know the dudes they writing about in that book.
Well, I know they changed like 2 or 3 names because NCAA violations and all of that stuff with them being recruited in high school. But very, very dope book right here, man. Like very dope book.
Yeah.
I got you, Trey. I definitely got you. And for all the diggers out there, you could get this right here. This right here is crazy. Like it's for all the record people out there. So we got that. But yeah, we can definitely do that, Trey. We'll definitely do that. JR, who you got left, good brother?
Oh, my bad. I'm buying the book.
Me too.
Man, this is a thing because my dad loved LL. That was his favorite MC. So I was gonna end it with his verse on Who Shot Ya, and when he came in, you know what I'm saying? And he just was like, shoot, where am I? Oh, who the fuck? I thought I conquered the world, crushed Mo D, Hammer, and Ice-T's curl. Niggas want to instigate shit. I battle any nigga in the rap game quick. Name is hot. I make it hot for you bitches. Female
rappers too. I don't give a fuck.
He murked that, yo. Like he murked that, and that's when my pops was like, he came back with that. Because it was like, the 14 shots to the dome, my dad was like, all right. But then
we all was like,
yeah. So when he came out,
y'all didn't like cookies in a plastic bag.
I like it.
That Moby remix with the video was crazy, but just loop it up. It was crazy because Marley
had backseat of my Jeep. Backseat of my Jeep.
Backseat of my Jeep was dope. Yeah. But when Marley just looped up the Emotions Blind Alley that he used for Kane's Ain't No Half Step, and I'm like, damn, bro, why you rhyming over the old Ain't No Half Stepping beat? But when Mo D came with the remix with the video where he driving the Beamer and he gets the flat and then he get on the bus, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Tell me that video wasn't the essence of that time.
That was like Marley in his down. Marley was almost at 0 by then. To me, that's why he had to go out and get Mo B. It only made sense he rocked with Marley since they did the Mama Said Knock You Out. So you can't do Mama Said Knock You Out with Marley and then don't call Marley up.
Well, but think about it. The sound had changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marley Marl created a sound that was good and hot for the time. Then evolution.
Right.
When Mo B, it was time for that sound. You know what I mean?
Right. And Mo B killed that remix because that's the first time people used that Esther Phillips sample. That Mobb Deep ended up using, and that Primo ended up using, and J. Cole ended up using. That was the first time. Mo B was the first person to use that sample. So that's crazy too. That's definitely a dope pick. Ralph, who you got left, bro?
I got 2 real quick ones. I got man, we done drifted off in the summer. Okay, I got anybody that know me, I'm a real fan of like storytelling in songs or whatever. And this one, of course, you had like you had Slick Rick doing it. You had Poor Georgie from MC Lyte, you know what I'm saying? But Kool G Rap on the Run. For some reason, man, that shit was crazy. The remix with that video, and he said this was one of the most gangsterest things I ever. He was like, so I snuck up on the sucker, put the gun to his head. What's up now, motherfucker? He said, wait, I want to talk. Bow, bow, bow. I put his brains on the sidewalk. I said, oh my God. I said, this dude is crazy. I said, yo, this dude is crazy, man.
Yo, G-Rap with some other shit, man.
Man, and people like us, we give G-Rap his flowers, man. He need to get his flowers from everybody, man. Like, that story, Nas is my favorite rapper. I hear G-Rap and Nas as much as people say I hear Rakim and Nas. G-Rap was come on, man.
I mean, how do you not like G-Rap is from the Bridge too? Like, that there was influence there.
Yeah, man. And that song On the Run, man, that was my especially that remix, and then the video to go along with it to follow the story. It was crazy. So
I always felt like if he had better production, that if people loved the beats a little bit more, like I feel like his trajectory would have been very different
G-Rap was G-Rap is still severely underrated. But I hear what you're saying about the production, but I don't think. But that's the same shit they say about Nas, right? Like I don't think. How am I trying to say this? G-Rap is an MC's MC. He's a rapper's rapper. Like he probably 90% of the time is going to out rap the goddamn beat, because you're going to be so fixated with what he's saying, you're not really going to pay attention. That's if you can even get into it. You know what I mean? He's going to out rap the fucking beat no matter what beat he has. Like he's not the motherfucker that's going to rap over some shit that you could dance to, or he may, but he's going to out rap that. So you're not going to even catch the rhythm of the track, because you're going to be so glued into what he's saying and how he's saying it. And that's kind of like the gift and the curse of that kind of MC, man. It's like he had to, if he wanted people, to me, if he wanted people to really be, like if he wanted to be bigger than what he is, then he would have had to learn how to dumb down, in a sense, of how he delivers rhymes.
Yeah.
I can understand. It's difficult in itself, and that speaks to the gift of Big. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the wild part. Another book everybody should go buy. Check the Technique by Brian Coleman. Liner notes, stories on how our favorite albums was made from the 80s and the 90s. I'm gonna read y'all something real quick about G-Rap, since we're talking about G-Rap. This is between the first album and the second album, Wanted Dead or Alive. They basically was talking about how G-Rap had bad sinus problems. It says it got worse and worse to the point that G-Rap was rushed to a New Jersey hospital one night by his girlfriend and had a craniotomy. I told my mom, I don't care if they cut my fucking head off. That's how bad the pain was, G recalls. I don't care about dying. I just want the pain to stop. So they opened up my head and had to clean everything out. They had to put my skull back in place. It was crazy. I almost died. They said if I went to sleep that night, I probably wouldn't have woken up the next day. The recovery was a very serious surgical procedure. It took several months. I lost coordination on my left side and writing with my left hand, G-Rap said. I had to learn how to write and tie my shoes all over again. I still recovered pretty quickly, even though when I first arrived, the doctor said I had 50% chance to survive. At first, I was definitely concerned about whether it was going to affect my ability to write and rhyme. As Wanted Dead or Alive proves, his concerns must have been quickly melted away once they got to the studio. This nigga worked on Wanted Dead or Alive after having fucking brain surgery.
Wow.
Man.
And see, most people don't even know that about G-Rap. Yeah, that's volume 2. No, that's the first joint. That's the first one. And most people don't know that G-Rap had brain surgery. You know, they had to put this nigga's skull back together. The nigga Polo said the nigga looked like he said they cracked open the skull and afterwards his head got so huge on one side he looked like Mr. Metz. The Met fucking a mascot.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, and see, people don't even know that about G-Rap. Like, yo, this dude is going in to make Wanted Dead or Alive, which is crazy. Talk Like Sex, the stuff that was on, you know, erase racism, all look like Mr. Metz. You know what I mean? Wow. Like I said, this is a book. Wow. All the background on all them albums that we love, Ice Cube, trust me, you can't walk away from this whole series. Brian Coleman, it started with Rakim Told Me. That's the first one. The one Vern showed you was volume 1. This is volume 2. I want to say I got volume 3 down here somewhere, but very dope book like that. So yeah, all that about G-Rap. Imagine most people can't come back from brain surgery and live a regular life. You know, and keep in mind, right, you're talking about something from the third album. That's the third. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Tie his shoe again.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, so just think about what we already thought about G-Rap. Now, where does that put G-Rap? Like, come on, bro. You know, you gotta learn, you walk all over again, learn how to tie your shoe, but then you still able to write Talk Like Sex to the streets of New York. Like,
that's why he's the genius of rap.
Damn.
There you go.
Man, when I was in college, they played Ill Street Blues and 3 parties got busted up. Niggas went wild and throwing chairs and baby.
Yo, Ill Street Blues was crazy. What was that? That was the joint was like up, up, up. On the way down, buck. Take that with you on the way down. Yo,
you lose, nigga.
Yeah.
You lose. You lose, nigga, because I got the Ill Street Blues.
That was like a wild out.
Yep, it was. I got left like Trey LL. For me, it was I can't live without my radio. You know what I mean? Like it was funny because I'm in 5th grade, and at that time, my moms didn't really know how to punish me, you know, because I'm too old for beatings. I'm not really an outdoor dude, so saying you can't go outside for a week ain't mean shit to me. I was gonna be, you know, listening to hip hop anyway. So she knew I'm playing. I can't live without my radio. It's like a fucking like light bulb went off in her head. Like, boom, that's what that nigga was. Like, yeah, give me that radio, my nigga. So it's like. And like, you know, but just, I mean, my radio, believe me, I lock it loud. I'm the man with rock the crowd, walking down the street to the hardcore beat while the JVC concrete. I mean, if you can't understand, but I need a radio.
Inside my head. Don't mean to offend other citizens. Way back
then. Again, for everybody out there who don't know what a boombox is, this is what we talking about. The Boombox Project. If you don't know about boomboxes, this is your perfect book. I know y'all cats out there with AirPods and MP3 players have no idea, you know, what we talking about, but this is what we talking about. This is what we had. This is what we was listening to hip hop on right here.
The gold standard right there, baby.
So, but and to your credit, man, like that, you know, just quickly reminded me that LL knew how to make records early.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, cause I fell in love with the vocabulary, but you just reminded me that was the same time that was really the single that they released, and it made me understand right to this day that they understood that he knew how to make records in addition to spitting all that battle rhyme shit. That was a record. That was a record.
Right. And the last joint I got, the last one I'll spit, Kane, Set It Off. When I heard Set It Off, you know, with the let it go, get bold. I just can't hold back and fold because I'm a man with soul and control and effects. What the heck, rock the disco text and this groove is what next. Attack, react, extract, mac, yeah. Yo, my thing, and then it was just when he just went in. So let's all sing the Big Daddy anthem, and then Marley dropped the whole the whole James Brown sample. He dropped it, and it was just the drums, and it was go with the flow. My rhymes grow like an afro. I entertain again, and Kane don't never have no problem. I can sneeze, sniffle, or cough. Even if I stutter, I'ma still come. Yo, when I heard that, even if I stutter, I'ma still come off. Again, it goes back to Rakim because you hear these songs and you're like, how can you get Chad? You said raw. I heard raw and I'm like, yo, how can you come better than that?
But then Set It Off was the next song on the album.
and then you hear Set It Off and you're just like, how can you come better than that? Then you hear Ain't No Half Step and it's just like, it was the same thing with Rakim. You hear my melody, oh, you can't come better than that. Eric B is president, oh, that's it. Oh, fucking, you know, I got soul. What the fuck? I ain't no joke. It's like, it just keeps coming. Like, and that was that era. Combs, I used to love her. I mean, just the whole, I met this girl when I was 10 years old. I fell in love with hip hop in 84 when I was 10, you know, so that always it. Gangstars just to get a rep. I used to have a girl who lived down Nicetown. I had to come from Uptown to Nicetown. Okay, if you're from Philly, Rel shaking it, you understand that that's the 6, that's the Broad Street line in a bus or walking like 13 blocks to Wing of Hockey. So that Gangstars just to get a rep was in my ear, just playing in my head, just trying not to get robbed. Shout out to Adina. My female MC was Paper Thin. Light, you know, whenever I think of MC Light, the first thing that comes to mind is when you say you love me, it doesn't matter. It goes to my head, it's just shit chat. Like, just crazy. I don't think there's ever been another time when we talked about this before where you said a rhyme and then like the instrumental went on, like, you know, with all the ad libs in it. And then the last thing I got is Pusha T from Grinding. Whenever I think of Pusha T, I hear from ghetto to ghetto, the backyard, the yard. I sell a whip. It's soft or hard. I'm the neighborhood pusher. Call me subwoofer because I pump bass like that. Jack. On or off the track. I'm heavy cuz fall to your fall because you duck to the Freddy gun.
Sorry, my love, it
but I'm seeing Benz convoys with the wagon on us. Only big boys keep Deucey on the side. Chuck Taylor with the dragon on the side. Man, I broke our scram. I show y'all who I am. The Jews is flirting. Be damned if I'm hurting. Legend in 2 games like I'm hurting. Platinum on the block with consistency. While Pharrell keep talking his music shit. My God, that's just to this day. That's just such a hard beat and such a hard. That's the last beat that I can remember kids in the lunchroom like beating on tables with their hands. Like, what we did in the lunchroom, that was the last time, because that's like 2000, 2001 when I was working over in Potomac Gardens and these projects out here, and my kids would just be in the lunchroom just doing that grinding beat. Like, that was the last time I can remember kids doing the drums on the table like that. So,
because I mentioned that song on the last show. And I, like, for a lot of people, the beat overshadowed what they was spitting. I'm like, yo, these dudes is spitting. Like, for some people that wasn't paying attention,
right?
I'm like, yo, do you hear what they saying? Like, do you really hear? Like, the beat is crazy, but they are snapping on this song.
That 21 years later, Push may have just dropped his dopest album with Daytona. Like, think of how scary that is. That this dude, The Funeral came out in '98. Grinding was 2000, and Daytona may have dropped 2018. Like, imagine that, man. Like, that's unheard of. That's
remember Keys Open Doors? Keys Open Doors was my come on, man.
That whole second album is 5 Mic Classic to me. That's a whole slew show right there. That's like How to Cook Cocaine Part 1. Like, that, you ain't gotta watch Scarface. You could just put on the first 2 albums and you have the whole. Vern, would you send me that gift today with the guy doing laundry while I listen to cocaine rap? Like, while I'm listening to cocaine rap, I'm folding clothes. And then last but not least, Run DMC Sucker MCs. A few years ago, a friend of mine asked me to kick some MC rhymes. So I'm gonna kick this rhyme I'm about to say. Rhyme was fresh and it went this way. Took a test to become an MC. Black Thought, push up your lights. Again, if you're from Philly, the way you said that rhyme off Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority is what I'm probably on. If I ain't whipping the land throughout your section, that's what I loved about Thought at that time. Like, not saying section, but saying section.
Section, yeah.
And when he said Southeastern Pennsylvania Trans, that's our bus company in Philly. That's SEPTA. And so for him to spell it out like that, it was just like, this nigga's an alien too. So that's what I got. Dope show, y'all. Chad, give us everything again about Another Lane, man. I can't get enough of it, man.
Yo, Adina does it better than me, but yeah, you know, like that's why she's the CEO. But yeah, this is Another Lane, anotherlane.com. We're the premier destination for dope kicks. You know, it's a buy, sell, and trade marketplace, but ultimately it's the epicenter for sneaker culture. Come in, be a member, buy, sell, trade some shoes. We got dope content. We've got really great members, including Jordan Brand people already. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
All right, no doubt. Where can I get at you on Twitter? Oh, my bad, Ralph.
I got a question. Do y'all have any information on restoration on your?
Well, so services that we provide, we can definitely help you with getting some shoes restored, depending on what they are. So if you want to do that, we can definitely help you out.
There's just some clear soles on some shoes.
You just want to ice them up? Yeah,
I need them iced up. Okay. Bless. I'm gonna follow y'all and all that and apply.
All right.
But where can they get at you? Twitter, IG, all that stuff.
Oh, for me, it's S_Galactus on Twitter. It's sneaker_Galactus, just like here on the show for Instagram. And of course, anotherlane.com is the website. Any one of those ways you can get to me.
Right.
It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to find me. I ain't never hiding.
That's right. That's what it is. Vern, the closer. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, anywhere in that area, if you aren't getting my man right here to do your loans for you, again, like Soul said, that's where you lost. Where can they get at you, good brother?
Kill, I got to end it with this verse real quick.
All right.
Off of We Go Off. Pharaoh to God, strike the mic hard like Ty Cobb with a bat. This is the antithesis of Steve Jobs when he raps. Max sick, gonorrhea clap, onomatopoeia, smack the ish out of you, you have no idea. Send a stranger to rearrange a Range Rover, Kia via satellite with money longer than Nia's. F chivalry out in a chick's career. And return to forever, I am Chick Korea. At O'Hare Air with service to air missions for your Leah. What you will hear before I send you to visit Aaliyah. Proceed with caution. He strikes with force, and of course, you need to borrow some sorcery with a cross to bear. And the culture of enforcing the nuclear laws of North Korea. So awesome when we morphin'. Pharaoh Ticklow, we go off and go often. Yes, y'all. Woo! Now that verse is just stupid.
Yeah.
All right.
Ticklow is one of them rare talents, man. He's one of them rare talents.
So that's Pharaoh and Tigolo. Two things. Hey, I want to shout out my boys, man. I talk about them all the time. Bread and Water producers. They got platinum plaques with Pac and stuff. They got a new project out called Objectives. It's an EP. Your boy got something on there. That's all I'm saying. But you can get at me at on Instagram at V the Lone Closer and on Twitter VChandler10.
All right, no doubt. Freestyles, good brother Eddie. Where can they get at you, man?
Yes, sir. On Twitter at EddieD80. Then I got my website, freestyle.com, promoting, everything for independent artists, reviews, interviews, write-ups, basically everything, and more to come. And my Instagram, freestyles as well.
All right, no doubt. JR, the R&B guru, what is going on?
Check out the R&B representatives with me and Elise, rnbreps.com. You can also find us on the R&B representatives on Twitter. We just finished our interview 2 days ago with Zoe from Foreign Exchange. So we got that. We got a couple of other interviews coming up too, but we're focused on Catch That, which is our interviews with people that's representing R&B the right way. So we doing that. We do our lives on Tuesday, and we just had our radio show today, which was about Black Lives Matter, and that is on Thursdays from 2 to 4 on WFDU 89.1, HD2 on iHeartRadio.
All right, no doubt. Bro, where can they get at you, good brother?
Yo, Instagram, Uptown J Ben. I got a clothing line as well called Fair Grade. You know what I'm saying? I got some dope pieces. The Instagram for that is at Fair Grade. Fair with a PH, not a F. You know why? Twitter, JBen215. And that's it.
Trey Lee.
Yes, sir.
Album of the year, Glory.
Yeah.
Book is coming. Everything is great. I'm watching the interview with you talking about Howard in the good old days. Where can they get at you, good brother? Tell them about Glory. Tell them about the book. Tell them about everything that's going on with you, man.
All right, so before I get into that, I got to give you one of my inspirations in their lines.
Please do.
And so follow me. And while you're thinking you were first, let's travel adventitious at speeds around the universe. What could you say as the earth gets further and further away? Planets are smaller than balls of clay, astray into the Milky Way. World's out of sight. As far as the eye can see, not even a satellite. Now stop and turn around and look. And as you stand in darkness, your knowledge is took. But keep staring. Soon you'll suddenly see a star. You better follow it, because it's the all. This is a lesson if you're guessing and if you're borrowing. Hurry, step right up and keep following the leader.
Yo, Trey, how did he set that rhyme off again? How did he set that off?
He said, so follow me. He said, so follow. So he said, so follow. Wait, hold on. Yeah. So follow me. And while you're thinking you were first, let's travel adventitious.
I don't even know what adventitious is. And I'm 47.
It's really, let's follow in an adventure. Let's take you to, you thought you were first. Let's take a little adventure at infinite speeds around the universe.
Okay.
And as the earth gets further and further away, planets are smaller than balls of clay, straight into the Milky Way. World's out of sight, like you in some space you never been before. As far as the eye can see, you know what I mean? And as you turn around and look, you're staring in darkness, your knowledge is took, but keep staring. Soon you suddenly see a star. Like that's some real braggadocio shit, but he's taking you on some galaxy Milky Way shit that you've never been before. That's why that shit's so ill. You know what I mean? So that's Rakim, man. That's one of my, you know what I mean, one of my influences. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, the reason why I had to quote that is because, you know, when we talk about Glory, you know what I'm saying, you got to understand that the people that's listening and looking got to understand where, you know, my inspiration flows from. He's one of them. So Glory is out there on all streaming platforms. I didn't want to be that guy to quote something from that. I'd rather y'all go ahead and listen to the album and grab some quotes off of that. And that's where the book is going to come in, because we got the book as well that will lay it out all for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we wrote all the lyrics in the book along with journal entries and things like that. Get your pre-orders now at TraceyLeeMusic.com. Again, Glory, the album is on all streaming platforms. We got, you know, gear, all the merch on TraceyLeeMusic.com. And stay tuned also for the next rollout with regards to Glory. We got the video album that we're putting together right now too, where we're going to shoot videos for all 12 songs and put that out, package it for everybody to follow along visually. So that's what we got, man. TracyMusic.com. Tune in.
Kill. Trey too humble to quote it, so I'm gonna quote it. The thing that prayer changes, yo, I marvel at. See, I never would have made it, y'all. Marvin Sapp can think of worse places to spend the COVID at than confined to the confines of the cul-de-sac. What? Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you, good brother. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, man. That's our life.
I mean, and the crazy thing with that is that, you know what I mean? You know, I quoted this on IG on one of my pictures. It's F who's the best. I feel invincible. They think with the flesh, I speak with an inner glow. You know what I mean? And I put that under the picture because that verse just
that was dope.
Perfect.
That was dope, by the way. That was perfect with that cap.
That felt like, because that's the thing. It's like I just speak with an inner glow. You know, like when we talking about all the stuff with people talking, it's like, yo, just be a stand-up dude and whatever people throw at you, it just bounces right off you, because it's like, nah, not Kill. Like you say, Kill did what? Nah, I don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about that verse. And then don't even get me started with the Broadinary, and I'm the one who brought Braves back to Philly before Bubba Chuck. Like we can go into that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. Couple more books to shout out. Ain't no half stepping. This book right here is about the Latin Quarter's infamous hip hop club in New York City in the 80s. Wonderful book to get right here. I mean, the pictures, just alone for the pictures alone. I mean, God, like.
Did anybody ever get a chance to go to the Latin Quarters like during its?
Nah, I did, bro. I wish.
I helped you before.
Me too. I was there in '87 for the first time. It blew my mind, bro. It blew my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I mean, just, you know, you got a young Chuck D, you know, up at the Latin Quarters. Another dope book, Creative License. This is basically about sampling laws and why 2 albums, Paul's Boutique, the Beastie Boys, and Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of a Millions could not get made because of sampling clearance. Like if you tried to make those albums right now, that they wouldn't have been able to get made just because of sampling laws and everything like that. So another 2 dope books. If y'all want to follow along with us, this will be the book that we're chopping it up with for our book club.
Yes, I just got it.
Yes, I'm on it. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Philly, based out of Philly, Joe Nicolo, one of the illest engineers in the game. Rough House started with Cypress, Crisscross, and the Fuji. So all of that was coming out of Philly. Y'all already know that.
And speaking of that, I'm sorry. Stay tuned because we have a book tour that we're putting together, and the first one that I'm developing right now is with Mahogany Books, and we're going to be previewing the Glory book, doing a Q&A with that particular book. We're setting that up. It'll probably be sometime in mid-March. But it follows right along the lines of what Kill is speaking to with regards to getting some knowledge from these pieces of literature, you know, in the hip hop culture. So salute to you, Kill, for doing that.
No doubt. Again, Apartment 5B is sponsored by What's the Scenario?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Definitely. Everybody has theirs. This is dope. Like I said, use the promo code Apartment 5B, you get free shipping on it. Very dope game. Like I said earlier, my man who's a teacher got this for his classroom. He said his kids ate this up and just played it all day. So definitely. What's up, Trey?
I got a question. Why am I? How y'all got the box and I ain't got the box? Wait a minute. What happened? I remember you soliciting for sponsorship. Now y'all got the box.
Yo, Trey, this came out. Yo, Trey. Yo, here's how God works, man. My goal this year was, I said I need sponsorship for a know. You know what I mean? And my man reached out like 2 weeks ago, was like, yo, I want to partner with you and start, you know, can we get the sponsorship going? And he sent me the box and I said, yo, let's rock with it. And we just started last week. Yeah, I got you. I got you, good brother. You know I got you. So again, check it out at SoWhatGames.com.
I just got mine.
SoWhatGames.com. Promo code Apartment 5.
Yeah, I just got
free
mine
shipping. You know what I mean? Definitely a dope game. So let's get it. I mean, hell, we in quarantine, can't do much, nothing else. So you know, here you go with that. Rock with Apartment 5B with the book club. We got you on that. We got you. We're gonna come back and do a show about fashion and cars, top 5 cars, top 5 fashions of your era, whatever like that. So we're gonna get that going. I'm excited because again, we're all from different places. Brooklyn may have been moving different than Philly, which is moving different than Atlanta, which is moving different than LA. You know what I mean? So I'm just excited to see what was what, where you was at. So definitely a dope show, y'all. Chad, I appreciate you chopping it up with us, man. We're gonna get you and Adina back on a Sunday. You know what I mean? I felt bad. Adina's like, I see her like dipping. I'm like, all right, let's I want to sleep on the show.
I told like going through this accelerator, like literally going through an MBA program and running your business. That's a lot of work to put in. You know,
I know y'all are, man. And again, that's why I want to get y'all on anything I can do to support the site. You know, that's what I want to do. You know, that's everybody up here. All we do is support each other's stuff and support other people's stuff. So that's the main reason I want to. What happened?
I said I appreciate y'all for that. Really.
So like I said, that's the main reason I want to get y'all on, and y'all cool as shit. So that just makes it even better. So, you know, we could definitely get that in every first Sunday of the month, 6:00 early time. You know what I mean? And we can get that in. All right, everybody. I'm gonna check y'all next week. No, you got something that?
Yeah, I was just. Oh, go ahead.
Shout out. You know, I know we didn't talk about it here, but you know, rest in peace to Prince Marquis B.
Yes.
Of the Fat Boys. Disco 3.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
Definitely.
It's so funny you said that, Ed. I'm glad you said it, but it's one of those things where it's like I told Cass on Twitter, I can't even talk about that right now. Like, you know, Marky D is, and this is why I give Trey so much of his flowers now, because so many times we don't give these people their flowers until after the pass. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, that's why I love having Trey on the show. That's what I'm always talking about. But Marky D, the Fat Boys were part of my foundation. Like when we did the show on when you think of a chair and you got those 4 legs, my 4 legs were Run DMC, LL Cool J, Houdini / the Beastie Boys, and the Fat Boys. You know what I mean? Like that was my hip hop foundation right there. So, you know, finding out he passed away was just hard because it's like we losing too many folk this year, man. Like just way too many. You know what I mean? Crazy. So like when Cass was getting at me, I'm like, yo, I'll talk about that tomorrow because I can't even process that right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Fat Boys, that was the first album I owned. Like, you know what I mean? Like out of all these records behind me, like the Fat Boys was the first album I owned. I just went digging with Naomi the other day and got the Disco 3 joint. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, cause I wanted the Disco 3, not the Fat Boys, but I wanted the Disco 3. So, like, I literally just copped this a minute ago. So, it's crazy, but definitely thank you for that because, you know, we definitely want to salute, you know, him and Ecstasy and Shabba-Doo. Just too many of the people that I grew up literally idolizing.
Facts.
Like Chad, like you said, with LL, these people were superheroes to us. That's the closest thing that we had to a Batman or to a Superman, to me, was rappers and wrestlers. I don't know about y'all, but to me,
that's a fact.
Like a rapper and a wrestler were the closest things that we had to superheroes. You know what I mean? And to just see them passing away like this is just crazy. So yeah, definitely.
Salute I hear you. For me, it was.
What were you about to say, Chad?
I said for me, it was rappers and ballers. Like I come from a athlete family, so you know, like seeing that, and it does something to your mortality when you see your heroes pass away.
That's a fact.
You know, so definitely rest in peace to Marky D. It's like we already lost, you know, Buff the Human Beatbox. Like we just down to Cool Rock-Ski. You know what I mean? And again, I tell people with the Disco 3, like that first album, this album right here was so. This was the Disco 3 album. This is before they became the Fat Boys. Like, to me, they became the Fat Boys once they got a deal, and it was like, okay, how can we market you? But this album was already made as the Disco 3, because this is just beats and rhymes. This ain't nothing but, you know what I mean? And, you know, after that, you know, we got into Chubby Checker and all that, you know, crossover stuff, because...
They became the Fat Boys during the movie.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But that Disco 3, Marky D and Cool Rock-Ski could rhyme their ass off. Like, if you listen to this album, like, yo, I'm 10 years old when this came out, and it's like, them dudes was just incredible. And we're not, you know, we're gonna do something more with Mark, because we're not even talking about him diving into R&B. You know what I mean? And you know, his Swing My Way joint was crazy. You know, solo joint, and then his production with Corey Rooney, and you know, so we haven't even talked about that, but we definitely gonna get into that, y'all. But I will check y'all next week, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man.